Sport. Talking football with Bill Young, Hugh Burns and Murdo McLeod on Rock Sport Radio.
Good evening. It's the beginning of a brand new week. Hugh and Murdo with me. We'll be talking about numerous things, but let me just remind you, you're listening to Rock Sport Radio across central Scotland on DAB Digital Radio, online at rocksportradio.co.uk via your smartphone and your smart speaker using the TuneIn and the Radiogram apps. Normally you'd be able to watch us as well, but unfortunately we have a problem with our streaming tonight. We are working extremely hard on it to get it up and running again. So the boys and I, we have taken advantage of it, and it's great to see that string vests are still in. So well done, lads.
You're a beauty to gear. Stick about their gear, Bill.
Listen, don't be starting with me, because see this string vest.
Is there a power cut?
This string vest was on the Deadliest Catch. A trawlerman used this for years. Right, fun and frivolity a wee bit later on, but sadly another announcement to make, which it really is sad, this one, because Stevie Chalmers, who was one of the Lisbon Lions, and of course will, like Billy McNeill for lifting the cup, put his place firmly in the history books of Scottish football and world football, because he scored the winner, that famous goal that actually took the European Cup back to Parkhead. Very, very sad. I know Stevie's been unwell for quite a while, but it doesn't make things any easier. And it really has been a horrible week for Celtic fans and everybody associated with the club. Personally, and from the radio station, we'd like to send our condolences to Celtic Football Club, all Stevie's family and friends, and everyone else who knew him. Murdo, your thoughts?
Wonderful person, absolutely fantastic. When you meet up with Stevie, when you're 20 years of age, joining Celtic, and Stevie Chalmers was about the club, he was still employed by the club. He was working in the pools or something like that, and always about the place, always would chat to all the players, just chatting away, very friendly. And then his son, Paul, was playing at Celtic using the reserve team at the side, so obviously he's watching the games all the time. But just again, like the rest of the Lisbon Lions, always about Celtic Park, and when they're there, it's just it lifts the whole place. And Stevie's such a gentleman. And the thing about Stevie, I think we spoke so many times, was about golf. Because Stevie was a fantastic golfer. I think he was the club champions for so many years at his golf club. And he had all these kind of attributes about the way the champion golfer, the way in life, that's the way he was precise in life, kept everything tidy, really nice to talk to people, never get aggressive with anyone. He was just such a nice gentleman. And it's just after Billy, it is so sad that another line going. It's a fantastic team, and it's just really sad just now watching it happen.
Yeah, Murdo, that's right. I met Stevie on a number of occasions when I lived down in Ayrshire in Troon, and I was pally with his son-in-law Jerry Smith, and we golfed often, and I met Stevie, and it was just getting to the end of his golf career as well, purely through the illness kicking in a number of years ago, and I think drastically went downhill over the last 2 or 3 years, and I think obviously he was getting well cared for, and him and his wife, just you see him going about Troon, very unassuming guy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have known he'd been part of the Lisbon Lions. He was always immaculately, people didn't know. I'm not saying it in a bad way, didn't know him. He liked it that way. That way, just under the radar. He did his bit, and he was just a great family man as well.
But it's amazing now. You look at the two passing away this week, and one of them with the iconic picture with the trophy, and then the other one who scored the winning goal. Imagine having that in your CV, that you scored the winning goal in a European Cup final.
Do you know what though, Murdo? I think it's a mark of the man that when you think about that European Cup final, all Celtic fans all think about Stevie Chalmers' winning goal. But you see other football fans, they'll know Stevie Chalmers, but I bet you if you asked other football fans, a lot of them wouldn't be able to tell you, because it's not something that's been blown up and not something that Stevie Chalmers paraded around or anything like that. So I think it tells you a lot about him as well, how unassuming he was.
I remember meeting a friend, Jerry's, just a wee quick story about the golf being down at Royal Troon, not last time, but a number of years ago. I'm maybe going back 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And a guy called John McNulty told me this story. He says, I was down at Jerry's in the morning, and Jerry had a beautiful big house quite close to Royal Troon, and his hero was Stevie Chalmers, and every time he used to meet Stevie Chalmers, he says, I couldn't believe I've met my hero. He says, there was one particular morning, Shuggy, I says, what happened? He says, they were all there. He says, and I was in, the kitchen, and the duties making the rolls, and he says, I was making a roll sausage for Stevie Chalmers.
I'm pleased.
Can't believe it.
It's brilliant.
You know that way. He says, my hero, Elizabeth Line. You want sauce with that, Stevie? He's like, I can't tell my pals quick enough. Silly things that punters will remember. Just that'll.
But Bill, we've got a wee list here of.
I was just going to say one thing though, Murdo, just before that, and you can go through the list because it is to do with that. When you look at 261 appearances for Celtic and 155 goals.
Incredible.
What kind of return is that for any striker?
No, absolutely fantastic. But I'm just looking at the teams he played for, and it's got Dumbarton, 1 appearance. So obviously he's maybe been there in the first game of the season or whatever's happened. But to be sure, there'll be Dumbarton supporters talking about Stevie Chalmers, 1 game. They were there, and they seen Stevie Chalmers playing for Dumbarton, and that'll be a big thing for Dumbarton Football Club as well, and Morton and Partick Thistle, the other 2 clubs that Stevie played with. No, just fantastic, and the goal scoring at Celtic was just amazing. I think, is it a 5th in the all-time list of goal scorers? No, that's what an achievement.
Unbelievable, and club champion at Caldwell. Long track, big Caldwell. There's 2 courses here, and he was the top man. And I remember Jerry used to tell me he's so particular and articulate and everything already. I was saying to Murdo just before we came on, and probably the golfers will, get this when they listen to it. Where if of a cold Friday night, he knew it was going to be quite cold in the Saturday morning. He was up early doors and. Says to Murdo, used to leave his Pro V1 sitting in the radiator, ready for the off.
Keep it nice and warm. Hit an extra 10 yards.
Yeah, unbelievable. I've never. See, when Jerry told me that, I went, "You are kidding me." I went, "No, honestly."
I would like to know. Bobby Lennox never played golf until latter years, and Bobby got into it.
That's why he's the bandit he is. He was, fair, when he goes to these.
And I just wonder if it was Stevie got him involved and took
possibly,
him out.
Yeah.
I think it's because they were down Ayrshire
way. To come and play
play with each other and all that kind of thing.
The Lions used to come to the. God rest him, Ian McGregor sadly passed away as well. An old friend of mine in Troon, and used to have it was for the taxis. We picked a charity every year, but generally it was for the Glasgow taxis, and the Lions, came down. And the Bears as well, I may add, and I was in charge of getting all the ex-players involved. But he was right about Bobby. It was a late developer, but always turned up with quite a high handicap. But tidy,
very, very tidy. It was always good. But that came from Stevie.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? The 2 of them getting together, and Stevie just helping him along, and wee Bobby was always off 18, and every hole, and he was going on in 2, and you're thinking, he's got 3 points all the time for a par.
But the flip side of that is when we played with Dixie last year, he was just happy to have a buggy. They nearly wrecked a couple of times. So they're funny.
It was great.
But they're funny, You're talking about, and no diversion off the subject whatsoever, but yesterday, been with Willie Henderson, Colin Steen and Willie Johnston, and there was an argument, and they were having a briefing at 11 o'clock. It was funny, and they were having a bit of banter, and me Bud says he was 10 years younger than Jimmy Miller. And Willie Henderson went, "No, you weren't. No, that's not right." And so wee Bud says, "I'll bet you a score." So wee Willie Henderson says, "I'll bet you a fiver, I'm not working now." The banter, and talking about the Lions and the Bears and things that you don't forget. But Stevie Chalmers probably would, one of the guys I would imagine in the dressing room would be maybe know the party piece, but he would laugh. He would have a great. Only a few times I met him, Bill. Was generally never even any football chat.
He was one of these guys. Just what you touched on there, he wasn't one of the ones that was all telling all the stories and jokes.
Sit back and laugh at them.
See when he come out with a wee light,
I was just going to say.
By the way, that's when everybody rolled about laughing.
Usually they're the people that pick their moment and then just drop something in there.
That was it.
But it was great with people down in Troon, and anybody that approached him he would always have time for them. But it's generally what happens with a lot of players as well, that when they stop playing, golf becomes, if they are keen in golf, he would go anywhere to play. And I met him just through as somebody who used to come into the shop. Jerry got pally with him and knew the family really well. So, and again, I text young Martin Clark this morning about something else actually. And then I said to him, "How's your dad?" He says, "Oh, he's broken again, you know." And I'd seen John Clark really broken last week with the death of Billy. So, and you're talking about, you know, Willie
Wallace is flying over from Australia for Billy's funeral, and he didn't know that Stevie had passed, and it was his wife that put it on, and just asking all the thoughts are with the family and all that kind of thing. So it was so emotional watching it.
It's a double whammy. That is it's unbelievable, because I was walking this morning, it came through Brazil's, and Brazil was obviously quite down about it as well, because that would have been a hero of his at that particular time. And then he spoke about, he's like, what's a player this guy was. He knew where the goals were, hence just the figures that you've gave us. So,
but again, you're looking at fantastic people. You know, the way they both acted since they stopped playing football, and the way they've just carried on their lives, and they're fantastic people. And that's the thing that
I think that's what brings, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but that's what, you know, when I was at the game yesterday and there was a lot of people talking about Billy McNeill, and I never heard a wrong word, as I've not from the death of Billy McNeill. And it'll be the same, because these guys are in a pedestal. They are up there with real top-notch people.
But they're all great. No, even there's not many left.
Well,
now,
it's interesting. You would have been at the game with Kelly, and it was interesting because watching the game on TV on Saturday, the announcer at Celtic Park made a big deal about John Gregg being at Billy's statue, and he made a really big deal about it, and said about this shows, you know, how, you know, well respected Billy was, that John Gregg and he were great friends, and it was much appreciated that John Gregg had been, and all the rest of it. And it kind of shows you, and it doesn't matter how passionate you are about your club, common sense somewhere has to prevail. And these were guys that were in a position where they were still making better money than most of us at the time, because, you know, there's always been that thing about being a footballer, but they didn't do it for the money. They didn't do it for the lifestyle. They didn't, you know, the reason these were nice guys afterwards is because they were nice guys during their career and before their career. They weren't these guys that expected to be treated in a certain way.
What was it like, Murdo, on Saturday anyway? Was it somber?
It was
sad and happy and all sorts of
I said to someone, I said, you'll be sad at one moment and you'll be happy the next. You'll be laughing, you'll be crying, the whole thing. Because once the whole stadium was jam-packed, and then, you know, the songs were singing about Billy, and that's what the family was wanting. It was just...
And did his wife come onto the pitch?
No. The Lions came onto the pitch.
Right.
And obviously that's... But every one of them, the Lions, you could look at them, and they're all the same. They're all fantastic men. Do you know what I mean? And their achievement was fantastic, but as a human being, every one of them, there's not one that you would kind of shy away from. They're all great people, and that's something, obviously they've bonded together, and that's who you feel for. You know, the Jim Craigs and Bertie still there, John Clark. You know, you're looking about, and they'll be thinking, my pals they're just that's two now and just over a week.
Yeah,
just horrendous for them, because they were close. No, because you know yourself, Hugh, you've been in teams and you've got to a cup final, you've won a cup and all that kind of thing. You always thought that's great, that team, but they split up and they go elsewhere, and then you don't really see each other. But these boys were together since they won in Lisbon.
Why? Yeah,
all the functions over all the years, they've all been invited to the same functions, and it's even latterly when it was 40 years, when it was 50 years.
And you know what a special feeling that must be for the Lisbon Lions and the Bears, the Barca Bears, to have been brought up like that, to win like that, and still to be friendly. Where we've been running about the clubs, and as a lot of people probably, it may be a bit of a shock, but when you come away from the game or you move, you don't really necessarily have any special bonds. I don't mean that we've got pals in the game, but not the way they guys are.
Correct, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they've been there and they'll speak to one another every day and what have you. We can banter with people that we've played with, but these people that have played at that particular time to win the Cup Winners' Cup, European Cup, that is a special thing. And you know,
but again, Hugh, we're going back, and Bill's talking about John Gregg turning up. The relationship between the players then was so open. They would go out together. No, it wasn't just a kind of, you'd maybe shake hands after the game and never see the Rangers player from the Celtic point of view. They would go out for a beer at night and all that. Wee Jimmy would go out and Billy would go out with Greg or whoever, Baxter and all these boys. No, there was always a great relationship over all the years. So it's, and then when John Gregg came, I think it was the first night to Celtic Park and laid a wreath and all that. That was all the Celtic fans applauded him.
But in saying that, obviously, the same would happen if and has happened the other way.
Correct,
and it's probably fans like ourselves for both sides of the city that it hits you hard because. I remember McNeil when he then became just no lifting the European Cup, but a wonderful footballer, a centre half, a presence, everything about him. He was Celtic, and then obviously he's at one end of the park, and somebody that's just passed away, Stevie Chalmers, is at the other end banging them in. So it brings it home. You think you've got problems, don't you? When you think about this, and grief's the most horrible thing in the world. I've had to deal with my dad. My mum, look at my mum every day, and I know how tight Stevie Chalmers was with his family and his wife. She was just salt of the earth. She would be everywhere with him. And you've just got to think of these people at this time. Horrible, horrible, horrible thing to happen.
But there must be some comfort, and I know it's probably not there at the minute, that when the dust settles and you can sit back and reflect about the legacy of someone like Billy McNeil or Stevie Chalmers. When you're part of the family, you can turn round and say, my uncle, my brother, my dad left his mark. And it must be quite gratifying to see the public outpouring of grief for the family.
People say times a healer, Bill. I don't buy that at all. I don't buy into that. I had a coffee with Yvonne Proven last week, Davey's daughter, and Davey left too. And she says, I don't buy it every day. I break my heart about my dad 25 years ago. She lost her mum, and obviously Davey passed in a few years ago as well. So everybody's different. You're right. And I think you've had to have dealt with it to realise what people go through.
I think that is absolutely true. But I'll tell you something. I had a conversation with somebody who again, like yourself, lost his dad not so long ago, and it was a guy that I know very well. I've known him. He's one of my oldest friends, and I remember him telling the story about his own daughter. After the funeral, he said, things will never be the same again. And she says, you've just got to get used to the new normal. And that's the sad fact of it, sadly.
Well, as I say, it's funeral of Billy's Friday, isn't it?
Friday, yeah.
I heard that. And obviously then Stevie's will follow on once the arrangements are made, but it just it puts you everybody in a wee bit of a downer, and Celtic Park will need to be dealing with another death, and it's not nice at all, Bill. Not nice at all.
It's not. Listen, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk more football with Murdo and Hugh right after this.
If you enjoy the occasional flutter, Rock Sport Radio have now teamed with BetVision, our official betting and gaming partner. Enter a world of gaming that you won't believe with a fresh visual style. Find out more at rocksportradio.co.uk and see what BetVision is all about. Rock Sport Radio and BetVision, a brand new name in the world of gambling. Please gamble responsibly. Over 18s only. And remember, when the fun stops, stop. For more, visit gambleaware.co.uk.
Looking to sell your house fast for cash? Freedom Property Buyers offer a free no-obligation offer within just 24 hours, allowing you to move on. Whether you're in financial difficulty, facing repossession, looking to sell an inherited property, emigrating, or are simply in need of a quick sale, we can help you get there in 3 easy steps. Call 0141 258 6963 or visit freedompropertybuyers.co.uk. Freedom Property Buyers. Consider it sold.
The list of things you need to do gets longer at this time of year, whether that's for the house or in your business. So tick one thing off your list right now. your septic tank could need emptied. Let Grant Henderson Tankers empty your septic tank in the home or work, farm, factory or workshop at very competitive rates. We are septic tank specialists, experienced, safe and dedicated to environmental safety with our own licensed disposal site. Find out more at wemovesh.it or call 01698 284 987. Grant Henderson Tankers. Let the experts manage your waste.
If you've had a car accident that wasn't your fault, you don't just want any lawyer to fight your claim for compensation. You want the right lawyer, an experienced road traffic accident specialist who'll work no win, no fee. But how do you find them? At First for Lawyers, we make it easy to find the right lawyer for you. Just text compensation to 66077 and we'll call you back. At First for Lawyers, we've a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. So text compensation to 66077 now.
Love music, live sport. Talking football with Bill Young, Hugh Burns and Murdo McLeod on Rock Sport Radio.
Okay, dokie, let's talk football on this Monday night. Hugh Burns and Murdo McLeod in with me. As we'll do what we always do, boys.
Yeah.
I don't mean talk mince. I mean...
I was thinking another word.
I was thinking of the same word, but mince just came out.
Looking at me.
We'll start at the back and work backwards, if you like.
Yeah.
Rangers 2, Aberdeen 0. I watched the game on telly yesterday. Mr. Burns, you were there. Did you watch it on telly yesterday, Mr. McLeod?
I did, yes.
What was your thoughts, Shuggy boy?
Listen, I've seen to Murdo when we come on. It's probably the worst I've ever seen Aberdeen play at Ibrox. They just...
You've not seen them the last 3 or 4 times then?
No, yesterday was... I have seen them. I've seen them, not missed them there at all. And they were negative. They were trying to kill the game. The goalie was slow when he was going to get the ball. He was trying to upset everybody. That was obviously in the plan. They launched it, with Cosgrove and Ferguson. Missed Shinnie in the middle of the park, big time. Yeah. They keep playing me Don Ball at right back. And these are all to Rangers' advantages because Rangers, did what they had to do. Yeah, 2 penalties, you would say, you might have won a wee bit more convincing like that and, an outfield play. But they deserved a lot more. Goalie made some couple of really good stops. Rangers were head and shoulders above Aberdeen yesterday. They bossed them, they bullied them. And the referee possibly maybe get the Katic one. I would say maybe that was a dodgy decision. We got it, we were at home. And
which one? Because they were both Katic.
Of course they were. The one at the back with Constantine didn't get the red. I didn't think that was... It was a dodgy one, but we got it. But the game was...
Steven Gerrard said the same thing, but having watched it again, I watched it at the time, and it was a bit like the thing with Jermaine Defoe. And of course, there's been a multitude of Celtic fans that have been on Twitter today saying the compliance officer has to look at the collision between Defoe and Joe Lewis. I actually thought Defoe was trying to get out his way and put his hand up to get out his way.
Possibly, it looked quite bad.
Watching it on the TV. Now, that's only my opinion. It doesn't make me right.
The TV does show up a wee bit more than actually seeing it live because you don't realise at the time what the impact was. But gently through the pitch, you've spoken about Katic, how he lost his place pre-Villarreal.
I thought he was fantastic against yesterday.
After the Villarreal game, he came in and didn't look secure, but suddenly he's kicked Goldstein on again. So the back four, I thought Flanagan did what he does. He's an auxiliary left back. Taverniers' distribution was better yesterday. Kamara, what a nick that is for Dundee for getting this boy in, and Ryan Jack. So they're complimenting one another. But they be number 10. Steve Davis is being Steve Davis again.
He was good.
He's going and getting it. He's dragging people all over the place. He's pinging it wide. He's pinging it there. Kent's distribution could have been better.
Frustrating day for Kent.
Yeah, I
thought he had to start roaming around to try and get himself in the game, and when you have to do that...
It was one of the games he didn't get in. Kent, that way, but, he persevered with him and he got through it.
I think the big thing about Kent, because he was one of the offensive players for Rangers, Aberdeen's best part of their team was across the back, so it was always going to be difficult to break them down. They parked the bus, but they're good at it.
But then
they're
when
very good at it, and the goalie's good at it, and that's why I thought Rangers managed to dominate the middle of the park.
Well, see, once they did get it, Murdo,
they passed it for fun.
They launched it, and Katic's aggressiveness, which he's now got in his game, He was winning all the headers, so it was going straight back to Rangers.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, that way. So it was going long that forward.
Aberdeen were comfortable at the back, under pressure, but as you know, defenders like to be under pressure like that, and they were doing well. But middle of the park, Rangers for fun were passing the ball about the middle of the park, and at the back they weren't really under any pressure. Because even Cosgrove, a couple of wee ricochets he got, and maybe a wee half chance once from a long shot, but nothing. They had nothing. No. And you look at the other games, and I've watched them against Celtic as well. They've always made it tough. They would park the bus for so long, and then eventually they'd come a wee bit more offensive. They didn't change at all.
Well, I think with Shinnie in the team, Bill, driving them, because Shinnie was always good on the offensive, driving forward with the ball at his feet. That means they can all push up and be up at the halfway line. Aberdeen were never at the halfway line yesterday, Murdo. They were parked on the D, and it was come and beat us. But just looked at, I was sitting with Ian Ferguson, obviously striker, good striker, and Ali Dawson, and I'm saying to Dozie, I says, look at Defoe's, he was in awe of Defoe. It's just about his movement. I'd love to see him get a goal, because he worked his backside off.
He got man of the match on Sky.
Yeah, he did.
Well, we thought he should have got it. Golston got the sponsors on the day. Between it was me, it was Defoe, Kamara, or Golston, and we thought Defoe might have got it, but he got it in Sky, didn't he?
Let's talk a wee bit more, Murdo, about the penalty decisions, because you know my barometer. If they happen elsewhere in the park, is the referee giving a free kick?
Well, I think the first one was modern day football. So many people now tackle by just standing in someone's foot, and they think that's all right to do it. But so many times now it's getting picked up, and you're penalised for it. And as soon as he's stood on his foot, albeit he knows there's been contact, so he goes down. And again, he goes down a wee bit clumsy, and you're thinking, it's no really. But the referee was spot on, because it was foot and top of another foot, it's a foul. And as soon as it's a foul, it's inside the box, it's a penalty. Yeah. And I think you would go with that. And the thing, we Andy Walker in telly was going on about, because Andy's always said all over the years, being a striker, he says, if somebody touches me in the box, I'll go down. It's up to the referee to make the decision. And I felt that for the first one. I thought the first one was a penalty. The second one, when someone's put his hand up and whether it brushes against your head and you've made contact, actually it's your opportunity then to go down. And I think he did go down. Yep. And again, it was, as who do you call him, the referee, after dinner speaker, he talks about penalties. Willie Young, he says it's like boiled eggs. You can get soft ones and you can get hard ones. That was a soft one.
Good discussion.
As he always talks about them. It was a soft one, but contact was made, and he's went down. Yeah, well, Considine's obviously it goes off because it's it's in the box and off you toodle. But 2 pens, 2 or 3 good chances should have been added to it. There was just there was a freshness again about Rangers on the back of good performance against Hearts. Aberdeen been 1 or 2 players down. Young boy Lowe struggled at left back as well. He didn't do his normal good stuff. But Rangers had no passengers. The odds distribution was good. The goalie commanded his back 4, pushed them up. And another just a wee footnote. It was great to see the manager involved a couple of kids for the youth team on Thursday night's performance, just in the warm up alone. Just to bring them in, get them changed.
Yeah, young McPake and somebody else. I forget who else it was.
About that. And I thought that's old school, Murdo. That's a thing that he maybe got when he was at Liverpool to be involved in. As we know, as kids getting into any first team dressing room, Bill, what an experience that is to be there. Going back and telling your parents the managers want me to appear just on the dressing room on match day. That's an incredible pat in the back for the boys that maybe other managers that we have had over the last few years wouldn't even have dawned on them to do that. But very rarely do the young kids at most clubs get a chance like that. No. Do you know what I mean? To go into the pitch and just be run about, have a warm up and all that kind of thing.
But Murdo, we were talking about this last week and about on the international front and calling young players up that you're not going to use in games, but you get them into the setup. See, if you're a young player that's worth anything, you're going to say, I want more of this. So I'm going to play the best I can play when I'm playing. I'm going to do what I can do to work hard at training. You name it, I'm going to do it. Because I want to be part of this. I like the feeling.
Yeah.
That's just strange. You might actually have played in this game. I remember John Gregg doing that with me when I was only 16. I'd only just went on the ground staff. And whether I had did something in training that I liked to look up, he went, listen, come in on Saturday. And it was to watch Sandy's preparation before the game, because he knew I was going to try and be a fullback. Just to watch Sandy. And it was against Dumbarton, strangely enough.
A reserve game?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
No, it was a reserve game.
No, this was a first team game I was at. Because I was in the dugout. I remember it.
Because the reason I'm butting in there, Hugh, the main first team games were all cancelled in Scottish football. But Ibrox under soil heating, there was a Dumbarton reserves were playing, and it ended up Dumbarton's first team played Rangers. And Sandy was right back.
But Dumbarton would have been in that league at that time, in the Rangers League, so it was definitely a first team game. I was in the dugout, and I forget it, Murdo. Just the fact that I was there, and it was an experience that I couldn't believe that I was actually in the dugout watching Rangers at 16, only just went on the boots, that way. And just to be involved like that, it gave me an unbelievable. I'm going, I want to be a bit more of this, is it? All these years later, I'm still thinking that.
Yeah.
And I think what the kids were feeling like and doing that tunnel yesterday, they wouldn't even probably been announced through, the tunnel or whatever, but just everybody would have known who they were because they did so well on Thursday night. And you know something? There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's man management at its best. I think it's fantastic to get a wee bit of accolade on the back of winning the cup on the Thursday for the gaffer to say, and I think 2 or 3 of them have been training as well. Remember as kids going to play and train with the first team, Bill, and you just go that wee extra yard, and first team players will begin to see you then and go, rather than just being away dressed room, walk into the park.
And the big thing for that now, Hugh, the next step has got to be they've got to get about the first team squad, and they've maybe got to get a game at some point. Obviously just now when you're Rangers wanting to get as many points as they can, they're no thinking about putting in the kids, but you look at Hearts, they're throwing in a lot of kids from the academy just now and giving them all a wee lift, and then they're out, then the experienced boys are back in, and it doesn't happen very often at the Celtic or Rangers. They don't often bring in a young kid.
It's great to see a young kid in the team.
And it is good to see, because they've all come through. When they come through the academy, the fans love to see one of their own coming through the academy, and they want to see them on the pitch and all that kind of thing. But because of what's at stake now, it's very rarely do you see that happening.
I think you're right where Celtic were always going to win it at the end up and get as many points. We were obviously trying to claw them back, but Murdo's right, no throwing kids in at a stage where the fans are still on edge a wee bit. We can catch them, we can catch them, no we can't.
Big games, it's still big games at the end of the season.
There'll be games now there, Celtic get a point on Saturday, there will be that opportunity, because everybody is talking about the boy McPake, and then the boy Dallas in the reserves as well, who's, can put the chances away. So there's opportunities there. And something, see, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you are in world football. See if you can play. You're in the team, regardless what age you are. You just need to look right round, and see all the top players. They've not broke through at 19 and 20. They've all been 16 and 17 getting in first teams. And there's no reason. And that's probably been a disappointing fact for the Rangers fans over the last few years on the monetary side of things, that there hasn't been that wee drip and roast coming through Murray Park or the Hummel Training Centre, I should call it. Really, it should be one coming through maybe every, year and a half, 2 years, something. It's just been dried up.
How much money is going into the academy?
For it not to come through.
Who benefits from that is other teams in Scottish football.
Yeah.
Because they end up not getting a game for Rangers, and then they just move on. But Rangers are spending thousands on each of these players that get to the top, get to the level that's maybe champing the first team door, but they don't get a game. And that's what a lot of Scottish fans want to see. They want to see the young Scottish players.
I think that's the kind of thing that will change under Stephen Gerrard. He was fairly brutal about the team that turned out against the Liverpool under-23s, I think it was.
4-0 at half-time.
And he actually, he was very vocal about that. And he actually said yesterday after the game as well, there are a couple of young players that caught my eye, and there was a couple of people that probably have put themselves out of touch for things.
That's what you need to do. Murdo say, listen, see one bad game.
He did say, when the opportunity arises, I will not be afraid to give these kids the test.
See one bad game sometimes in a manager's eyes, that's good enough for them. And there's no moving their thoughts on, they've seen what they've no liked, and that's it, there's no going back. There's going to be massive changes. Again, he's talking about bringing quality in to add to what he's got. Again, he said today, second's not good enough for my club. I want to win the league and stop the 9 in a row next year and make sure they don't get 10 in a row. And I'm hoping he adds to what he's got, bring in quality, and no even just, you know, he's got a big enough squad. He'll be trimming some of it. Of course, there'll be people going back on loan. There'll be people coming maybe at the end of their contract that he doesn't fancy. But he's had a right good look at them. And you know something? He gave a lot of them the platform, and a lot of them have let him down. So that's why the gap is still where it is with Celtic, because these players.
But you've got to say Celtic are not going to stand still during the summer either.
Well, they did last year, Bill.
Yeah, but that's because, and this is only my opinion, that's because I think they wanted to see what Rangers were going to throw at them this year.
Yeah, and possibly maybe the rift between the manager.
I think now what they will see is they will see an intent from Rangers, which will spur them on again in terms of bringing personnel in. I don't think Celtic will stand still.
No, I don't think they are, but then they're limited in who they can bring in, because it's the big attraction to come to Scottish football, that big an attraction for players abroad. It probably isn't.
Doesn't that apply to Rangers as much as it does to Celtic?
Well, but he might still go down the route of getting the quality from Liverpool and contacts that he has down south, where rather than to go out and spend it again.
I think that the good thing, and I know a lot of Rangers fans think it's great because the gap's closing, but because if it does close, other Rangers fans will be thinking, we're getting top and near close to Celtic. Celtic will think, Rangers are closing in. They'll spend more money then.
Of course they will.
They'll spend more money because they're thinking, that was too close. No, there was only 2 or 3 games away from a wee bit of safety there, so they'll be thinking, let's get better quality in. Yeah, and Celtic will spend.
But it is hard getting that right bit of quality.
But the hardest thing for any Scottish team is get out to spend the right amount of money to get the right kind of player.
Do you think Celtic will spend 5 million on a player?
On a player? Well, they spent 9 million in the summer.
They're looking at somebody, and I can't remember the boy's name, but he's another striker or something, I think.
Yeah, I know.
And Neil Lennon saying that if we have to spend 9 million like we did on Edouard, then that's what we'll spend.
Well, Murdo, obviously thinks that'll be the case, and great, it'll be great for the league, but I genuinely think that Rangers have got better, but there's still more and more to come.
Listen, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I think the thing that Steven Gerrard will have learned as much as his players is how much it means now to be a Rangers manager and a Rangers player, and that's not a criticism of the manager. I think he almost knew. I think he absolutely does now, and I think he knows what he needs in terms of personnel next year, not just in terms of their quality or their ability, but their understanding of where they are and what they've got to do while they're there.
Well, that's a big thing, because, and I'm not talking about the players that Rangers want to bring in, I'm talking about players that's already there, and they'll be thinking, goodness me, it was so intense that every Rangers fan you met was desperate to stop Celtic winning the league and all that. It's alright knowing that, but you've got to do it on the pitch. So they've got to lift their game. They've got to lift their game and be better again themselves, because this year wasn't good enough. This year wasn't good enough, so every one of them's got to pull up the sleeves. The ones that's kept on, Bill, they've got to appreciate that this is what Rangers are all about, but they've got to lift their own games. It's alright appreciating it, but it's another thing to do it.
I think when you look at the big picture, it wasn't good enough in phases of the season.
Consistency, Hugh. Consistency.
Well, that's a sign of a quality player, isn't it? To be consistent through the season. I think a fantastic run in Europe that he found out a lot about his players there. Then maybe not taking that in, the ill discipline of the striker. Where I think right now with Defoe up front, he offers more than Alfredo anyway. Alfredo knows where the goals are, but Defoe's a different kettle of fish, bringing other players into it, and his touches and his movement, that I think Alfredo as a kid will possibly get better. So I think in phases of the season it's been fantastically better than what it's been, but still loads room for improvement. And the manager, with the standard that he's had all his career, he'll know that. He'll not want to finish second again. The bottom line is second he'll look at, but he would probably accept it a wee bit more if we maybe had the Scottish Cup final coming up, or we had won the Betfred or whatever, the League Cup in November. That would have given us a bit of a platform. We let ourselves down against Aberdeen at Hampden in the semi-final. We should have been better in beating them. The drawback was no having Morelos and playing Sadiq. That was a killer for us. We then, obviously, the cup game and the Scottish Cup, we didn't take that through as well. So that'll be the disappointing. And getting as close to them, I think it gave everybody that wee sniff again. I was there on the 29th of December. I'll never forget that result. Because we hammered them that day. Because we played with aggression. And see the last 4 times we've won Rangers, they've played with the Rangers' aggression. If they play with the Rangers' aggression, they'll beat most teams.
I think they've looked more comfortable in the last 2 or 3 games, and the reason for that is, I think, and it's going back, and Morelos has done a great job for them. There's no two ways about it, and it'll be a hard call for Steven Gerrard to decide who comes up as the target man when Morelos' suspension's over. But I think they've played a different way because they've had to accommodate Defoe, and I think it's a way that's more comfortable for Rangers.
Well, it's not in behind anymore because Morelos has got their legs to go and press fullbacks. Defoe's just coming off. He's cute enough to, a couple of times yesterday, he's came off, and Arfield's made that wee run in behind where, Alfredo might not have that in his makeup. He's wanting it in behind, he's running his chasing.
I just think Rangers look more comfortable playing a different way.
I agree with you,
and they are playing a different way because they have to because of the way that Defoe plays against Morelos.
No one came from the middle of the park before until Arfield's been back at.
But even Ryan Jack, you see getting up there now as well on the edge of the 18-yard box.
He's moving the ball quicker now. Because before he was just slowing everything down and taking his time, he's speeded up, passing the ball from the middle of the park. But Arfield, for me, is the one you're talking about. What about the strikers? It's because Arfield now is getting in there. Now, Arfield's a threat getting into the box because you see the way he finishes.
Well, you just need to look at Motherwell.
The 3 goals against... No, just side-footing the ball
in. Getting into the box, Motherwell.
Just getting into the box. So if you've got someone like that, that's different. So then you've got... When the ball's going down the sides, Arfield's going into the box, you've got 2 people in there. Whereas it's only been Morelos in the past, and if he doesn't get it, the chance is gone.
Yeah.
So now
I'd agree with that.
There's 2 strikers in there.
But Jack's suddenly looking as though he's bossing it a little bit, and again, his second season, getting to know what it's all about, being fit, getting fit, injury free, and kicking on.
The boy Kamara is silky.
Oh, he's got great feet. He's got the draw back. He passes it. And by the way, for being so slight, I seen him in the foyer last night. There's no much of him. I was looking at him, and he's one of these colossal giants that you usually see in modern day football. But he's got great feet, and I'll tell you something. He's quite tasty.
Got good vision.
He's got everything, and that's a player. And it just shows you, if a player sticks in and does well, he's obviously done well. He could have fell into the Dundee trap, but it's great for him. And that tells you a lot about himself, what he's done to get that move.
I'll tell you what I do like about him, guys, and I don't know if you've noticed, but you see if you watch Rangers playing, if you see a player in a lot of tight positions, normally the outball is Kamara. He makes himself available all the time. He might not be in a position to damage anybody, but he's in a position where he makes sure that they retain possession.
That's the important thing, and that's what Rangers have got to look at between now and the end of the season. The level that they played against Aberdeen, that's their level.
Finish it and kick on again.
And kick on and then see what's going to happen next year. Because
the gaps there's nothing, when big gaps, you think you finish the end of the season and you don't play for about another 10 weeks or something like that. It's different now because that's how you'll be wanting to keep that momentum going, Murdo.
They've got to keep that, just what I'm saying, is consistency. Right. If he can do that, because Kamara's the type of player, anyone in trouble, he would take the ball, he's comfortable there, good feet, he's got good awareness round about him, he knows who's there, the opposition players, he knows a wee flick, a wee pass, he can do all these kind of things. So he's got to do that, because I watched him at the beginning of the season, before he came to Rangers, playing at Dundee, and he just stuck out. Somebody in the cup in the middle of the park, and you thought he can play.
That was a 0-0 game.
But that's correct.
That's probably got him the move.
And that would have got him the move because he just controlled everything in the middle of the park. Every Dundee player that had the ball, he would give it to him, and he would progress.
I've got to agree. I was at the game, and that's a player that obviously they'd been watching him, right? One way or another, the scouts are out there, Bombers out doing his stuff, or any other networks looking at him. And they're travelling back down to Glasgow that night, and the manager sitting at the front of the bus with Gary McAllister on the back of the 0-0, being disappointing 2 points. So then you go, it just needs something for Gary to say, by the way, Kamara played well, didn't he? I know, we've been watching him, what do you think? And before you know it, they've made the move. and got a wee gem in there, no breaking the bank. So the wee gems are there. So it's up to these wee guys or whoever are playing and stick out. And there's always that chance of playing at a higher level.
Guys, let me ask you this, because obviously Aberdeen recently have got this reputation for parking the bus and playing this hit and hoist kind of game. They are missing Shinnie, but they're going to be missing Shinnie next season anyway.
Of course.
If the Old Firm are going to start kind of, if you like, loading up a wee bit, Rangers trying to get closer to Celtic trying to maintain the gap between them, where does that leave teams now like Hearts, Hibs, Aberdeen, Killie? Because are we going to start to see this dominance of the Old Firm again? Can you see that coming back?
Well, I think when you're looking at it, the dominance has been there, still there. No one's won the league for... Who was the last team Aberdeen won the league? Was that the last time a side out with the Old Firm? Mm-hmm. So you're going back an awful lot of years. I'll go back to Rangers and Celtic, the two top teams, Celtic and Rangers, sorry. Sorry.
Right, you started. The boys were asking for you yesterday at the game, you know that?
The two of them, because of the finances they've got, Bill, they've got to be miles ahead. And that's why you look at it just now, what's happened over the short space of time. Aberdeen's been up there all the time for the last 3 or 4 years. They've been second. Rangers have been further down, and the gap's been big between a lot. But this year, everyone will take a wee bit of something out of this league. Aberdeen will obviously say, well, Rangers' budget is so much more than ours. Of course they should be above us. So they'll not kind of feel embarrassed that they've not been second top.
No.
So, but Rangers now, they're looking at what they can spend next season, and the players are going to lose, because they'll lose a lot of players going back in from the loan spells. The money at Rangers now, they've got to spend on it, and then Celtic's got to react. But they don't need to react what Rangers do. The most important thing for Celtic is to make the team better next year than it was this year, and the following year better than next year. And that you've just got to get your better quality players into your team and just go and keep on winning the league.
When you look at the Aberdeen situation in yesterday's starting 11, where the young boy Max Lowe is a definite to go back to Derby County, who are on the fringes of maybe Premiership football, maybe just miss out on that. So he's been up and down, but he'll go back down. You're then going to lose Shinnie, and I think they'll bankroll McKenna as well. I think he's money in the bank.
McKenna's worth about what, 5, 6, 7 million.
Well, I would love him to be playing for my team, but again, on a monetary side, that would be a big purchase for Rangers if they could have managed to get him on board. But so there's 3 players, big players. You know, McGinn's probably maybe at the twilight of his career. You know, Gary Mackay-Stevens been out for a wee while. I'm then looking for real quality over and above that, and maybe the fact that again, the demise of Rangers over the last few years has been to the advantage of Aberdeen. That there is no doubt. There's no doubt about that. That's why Aberdeen have finished in second place. And I just remember Willie Miller talking at the start of the season, and I just wish I could ram these words right down his throat about there's no reason why Aberdeen can't finish second this season. Well, Willie, there's a big gap out there. The gap is always going to happen because there's better quality Ibrox, and that's the bottom line. And the fact that Rangers were where they were, rebuilding, even with managers, that's why Aberdeen finished second. But I think you'll see a big shift now. I think you will see, as Bill said, the Old Firm, Rangers and Celtic, as you would say, as you said rightly, which you always do, and that's your blue nose coming out, of course. You know, that will be Rangers and Celtic. Excuse me. Hold on.
1 out of 7 games, and he's in a high now.
Hold on. The fact that we are going well at the moment, morale's good. Let's hope the investment can kick in over the summer, and let them spend some of the money they don't really want to spend. They don't really want to spend, Celtic. They don't want to spend. And it'll be interesting to see if they've got the balls to go and spend money.
How much did Rangers spend this year?
I think they spent quite heavily on Grezda and Barisic. I think that was your 2 purchases, if I'm right in saying. Possibly maybe 2.5-ish between the
Goldson came for about 3 million, didn't he?
Well, he did the pay time and all. So you're talking, see, what are we talking? A handful for the 3 of them, you would think, wouldn't you? So,
that miserable team Celtic you're talking about, they spent 9 million in one player.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No, they probably spent more than that. They spent more than that. We can see what their wages
No,
are
I'm just-
as well.
I'm just-
How much
no.
are their wages compared to Rangers?
Oh, so you're now saying that Rangers are the poor team?
No, I didn't say that at all. I'm saying Celtic are
Oh.
spending fortunes in wages. That's what they're doing. And you know something?
And they're reaping the benefit because they're winning the league.
Because
They're winning the Scottish Cup. They're winning the League Cup. Hugh,
the Scottish Cup, they're
Hugh,
playing Hearts.
what's football all about?
Listen, you got to win trophies.
Correct.
Let me ask you a question, and this is a serious question. With the amount of money that Celtic are spending, if Rangers were to win the league next season, what would that do in terms of, would it see a realignment of things at Celtic Park?
Bill,
It's a serious question.
have you fallen down the stairs and banged your head?
I'm asking a serious question.
No, you're not. You're
Things
asking
can
a
happen.
make-up question you've asked there. Nothing serious at all about it.
He'll not have a wrong word to say about his club, won't he? No, he sits there.
No, listen,
he sits there
listening
for
to-
all the money they've spent, all the money they've got, and the gap is where it is with Rangers. Yeah, okay. At the end of the day, he's might rub their nose in it, but they're not that convincing. And that hurts us even more. That hurts us even there. Because, see deep down, they're there to be shot at. And if we do the right thing in the summer, which I know the manager's going to do, we'll get in about his mob next season. Big time.
And you'll still,
And he knows it.
You'll still be second.
He knows it.
You'll still be second.
I'm not saying we'll be second. No, second isn't good enough for us. Second is not good enough for us.
You said that last year.
That was a serious question I asked.
I know, but he can't. He just sits there and he just. I think.
Hypothetical.
I think he just. He didn't
Hypothetical.
treat you. He didn't
Aye.
treat your question with the what did I say? What am I looking for?
Bill was.
The respect it deserves.
But everything
Bill
starts.
Bill just back from Disneyland.
Yeah, but
All the fairy tales and he's got to be stories. Oh, can you imagine the fairy just came down and landed and put her wand out and you've got $1 million, thousand million in the bank.
Listen, let me tell you something, because this is quite important. Everything, and I mean everything in life, starts as a hypothesis. So everything is hypothetical until someone proves it to be actual.
Bill.
Yes. so-
Every invention,
so
somebody
the Rangers-
sits down and says, what if this could happen, or what if I could make that happen,
Bill,
or what if I... It's all hypothesis.
It's such a wonderful club that Brenda packs her case and heads to Leicester. It's such a wonderful club to be part of, isn't
Now,
it?
listen,
and he heads down there for Leicester City. You don't leave the Rangers to go to Leicester City.
I didn't ask that question to get that kind of response. I asked it as a serious question.
Well, listen, I just had to come in there.
I'm looking at it. Celtic will make sure they bring in good players, good enough to go and win the league again.
Well, we'll see.
End of
You know
story.
something? It's getting to
But
that.
Bill,
I'm Hugh, Bobby.
No, I
Right?
was talking to Bill.
William.
But
Are you skelly-eyed?
the most, just what you said about what's going to happen all season long, when Rangers have won 2 or 3 games in the bounce, your behaviour's like that.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not. No,
See,
behaviour's the wrong word.
And you were doing good behaviour for you.
Enthusiasm is it?
Demeanour.
Demeanour. Great word, Bill.
No, your
If we're
behaviour.
going to be on
Good behaviour or bad, it doesn't matter.
You take me back to my school days, talk about behaviour. I'm not interested.
But what you are, you're in a wee high.
It was a lot of gold stars, Bill.
You're in a wee high. You're up there and saying.
No, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
Your behaviour was when Rangers had won maybe 3 games in a row, and you're saying, "Hi, you keep on going this. We've got to do this. Keep on winning. That's the most important thing. Good performances, but you're always in a high." And then all of a sudden, going into the 4th game, it's a nothing each at Livingston or something. Lose at Livingston, something like that, or Hamilton's win at Ibrox or something. No, but what I'm saying is, then you're in a downer and say, "Oh no, we've got to get this."
Is there a downer?
Oh, of course you will.
I'm a Rangers fan. I'm never in a downer. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger.
When you're on the radio,
I support my team.
Don't tell a lie.
Listen,
you
I
were in a
support my
downer
team. No, listen.
but
I don't go out. I don't go
Were
out and say
Celtic
it
fans
publicly.
not downers when they drew at Livingston or get beat by Hibs?
They've been on a downer and they're to the top of the
Celtic
league.
fans, were they not on a
You can't
downer
be in
when
a
they...
downer when you're sitting top of the league.
They're on a downer.
They
Of
won
course
the
they're on a
they won the
downer.
top of the league at that time.
They're
It was
chatting about
Hearts that was
Celtic
top of the
Parks
league then.
now. Lenny's not getting it. He's getting it. No, he's not.
Hearts were top of the league then.
Doesn't matter.
Was it Celtic?
Listen, you don't need to be top. See,
Celtic haven't led from start to
see
finish, unlike
in the
other years.
25th of May when you're having a cup final at the end of the season and you're sitting...
We'll be there sitting with our
you're
hearts
sitting
castle
there
anyway, Bill.
with the Havanas out, and you've got these 3 silver trophies in the cabinet. Everybody's looking at that.
Dearie me. He's right, he's soapbox tonight, wee man, isn't he?
That's what it's all about, though.
Aye.
That's what it's all about.
So it is.
But that's what I'm saying, you get in a wee high when Rangers have a couple of good performances.
No.
And as you did say earlier on, you'll never forget that Saturday, or was it a Sunday in December, when you managed to steal a 1-0 victory.
Steal.
That was not...
Steal. Now who's been dropped in the head?
That was poor punditry.
Steal. Anyway, let's move
1-0.
on. Let's move on. Hibs against Hearts, 1 each. What's your thoughts on that one, Murphy?
I thought it was a super Hibs performance.
So did I.
And then all of a sudden they hit the wall. And Hearts, from nowhere, just came into the game. And then at one point, I'm thinking, Hearts are going to nick a wee winner here at the end. Well, the big striker had a big overhead kick and touched over the bar. But I thought Hibs looked a good side, and possibly the other way as well. Hearts were poorer early on. Not too bad in the first half. At the start of the second half, I thought Hibs really put them to the sword and in about it the whole time. Hearts were never in the
pace
game.
and movement again.
It was a good atmosphere on the ground as well, which was good. But credit to Hearts to come back in from the way they were playing, Bill, and then to lift their game and get to what they were doing at the end. Because I'm sure Craig Levein must be thinking, do I put another defensive midfielder on here, or do we go for a win here? Do you know what I mean? I think it was kind of a thought to Craig Levein that he could still go and win this game, and I think he kind of pushed them forward. And
I have to say, I thought the Hearts goal was a cheap goal for Hibs. They were very poor defending.
I thought Piers was brave in going in and starting it, you know.
Absolutely.
And then a good cutback, I think it might have been from Mulroney. It was a decent cutback and a decent finish, but big fella says he was struggling before it. He had a sore throat. Whoopie-doo. Get on, mate. It's a derby. I had a sore knee.
It wasn't a karaoke night.
Possibly could have been.
That's what caused the sore throat.
I tweaked my knee a couple of weeks ago against Aberdeen. You're a bear and you're a beast. Get on, mate. And when he's leading the line, him and Clare especially, because Clare was a big loss. See, he went out in the warm-up, which I was quite happy to see the week before at Tynecastle. He didn't make the starting 11. Hearts looked weak up front, and Nick Piezu was asked to do everything. I think it was a bit different on Sunday, but honours, even derby game, you know, it's a hard one to call. The Jambos, you know, celebrated as if they'd won the league. That's what it means, and Murdo's been part of it, you know, and we've both played in games through there, so we know what it's like.
Especially at home.
Yeah, of course.
See if you're leading at home and then
you lose one.
You lose one late on and equaliser, and then you're kind of hanging on a wee bit.
Yeah, 20,000.
No, you're walking off as if to say... You had in your head that you were the better side, but then you're thinking they could have won the game.
Well, it's amazing what that does for Levein as well. If he'd have lost yesterday, he was under real pressure. And just that wee goal at the end gives everybody a wee lift. They're back up to Tynecastle and they've got to share the spoils. And you know, it was a decent game. I seen bits of it because I was on the road ready for the game. And so, you know, I was happy Hearts got the equaliser, Bill, to be honest with you.
But, you know, if you look at the form guide, guys, for the last 6 games, lost 4, drawn 1, 1-1.
Yeah, it's no good.
Hearts.
So that's a bonus to take.
Poor.
Yeah, it's poor, but it's also, it makes the point look even better. The fact that Hibs have went so well. Again, another... You know,
still unbeaten. That's 10 games now, Higginbottom, in the league, unbeaten.
Yeah, phenomenal start. He's got good players. He's got players in there with pace.
But you see, there's players as well, and this is what I don't quite get, and I don't want to harp back to it, but I'm going to a wee bit, in as much as there was certainly something in a personal agenda going on at Hibs when Lenny was there. Because David Gray was out, and I know he was injured for part of the time, but you see, since he's come back in that team, his captain, he's led by example, and he's played magnificently. He really has. I like David Gray. I think he's a good...
He gave him a 4-year deal as well.
But Bill, that happens with some
I know
teams,
it does.
you know,
I know it does. But you know what? When you're Hibs, Murdo, can you afford personal feelings to come into it?
I can understand
you've not got you've not the strength and depth that you've got at Rangers.
If you've got someone better, which he wouldn't have, better than David Gray.
I think he played McGregor at right back. I think he
changed things,
you know,
and changed even maybe 3 at the back.
He did. He went 3 at the back, but McGregor played in that area.
So then you're looking at just wing backs, and Gray wasn't there.
No.
But again, when these things happen, as you know, Hugh, within a football club.
Yeah.
Manager's not getting on with a player, and then all of a sudden he hears a wee rumour about that player's kind of winding the other player up, not to like the manager as well, and the two of them are out and all that kind
It
of
just
thing.
fosters it. I think Lenny was only really just trying to lay the law that he was a gaffer. His word was final, and I think it got quite personal. I think Canberra, according to all accounts, went spat dummy to Leanne Dempster. She wanted to read the Riot Act, and she came out during the week there and said again that, you know, he was a brilliant manager to work with. It was just one of these things. You and I have fell out plenty over the last 5 years, but we still need to come to work on a Monday night, and whenever we work together, I don't particularly like you, but I like doing what I do. So you've got to do it, and sometimes managers have got to do that.
There you are, Bill.
Nice.
I was talking to you, Murdo. Even though I was looking at him.
Aye, but that's it. The manager.
And it happens.
It's got to kind of. And sometimes we don't know. In fact, we don't know. Most times you don't know what's went on behind the scenes, because anything could be sitting. Lenny could be sitting talking to his first team squad, and one of the players could say something that he shouldn't say to the manager. The manager right away just says, "You're out the team."
Listen, I've got to say, Ikpeazu was a wee bit unlucky. Did you think that he'd seen Hanlon coming on his blind side for the pen that they missed? Did you see the pen that they missed?
The one that hit the post.
I thought Big Ikpeazu was only watching the ball. It was one of those.
He was doing it, but what happens so often now? The opposition player just gets his foot up just to try and block it, and then when you kick through it, he gets down. And you're going to get the penalty.
I sometimes wonder the value and the wisdom of having big centre forwards back in the box defending like that.
Yeah.
See, for me, I would have him about 25 yards out, so that if anything comes out, he's away.
Striker's challenge, as you always say, is a wee bit.
And that for me is the wisdom of that. I would challenge myself. Having him in that position.
Well, most teams get the big centre forward back, because obviously the opposition send up all their big centre backs, a big midfielder in there, and so it's the size of the boys modern day, Bill. You've got to make sure you've got people similar size to mark them. Because if you end up with a midfielder at 5'9" against somebody at 6'2", 6'3", you're asking for a bit of trouble there, because good balls into the box.
Just looking through the Hibs team there, they can all play. You're talking about Gray back in on the back of now a 4-year deal. McGregor's been added.
By the way, just jumping on that, that's a long contract for. Is he 30?
31.
Is he
31? And McGregor's on the side of 30 as well. That's an unbelievable scoop for those two players. But you know that they can all play. Canberra with his movement up front, McNulty who's up and low. I like Horgan. Mala in the middle of the park for me is great. Milligan's just sitting in behind him. And is it Omienga?
It's a good team now.
Good balance, Murdo.
He's obviously gone off Kelly because he's naming the Hibs
Shut up
this week.
Well, I just went through it because I've got it in front of me, because you miserable sods will not bring the papers in. But just to let the listeners know who maybe no have a paper now. That's what you've got to do.
Going to go through the Hearts team now?
Yeah, quickly. Zamal, Shaughnessy, Berra, Suter, Smith, Dijon, Corcoran, Smith. Oh, there's Corcoran back in with a 7. Didn't even realise that, actually. Mulroney, Clare and Ikpeazu. So
he came off injured. He came off at the end.
And he's had a 7. And I just said Harry Corcoran getting back against Rangers last week on the back of him developing as a kid, really. He was a big, tall, skinny boy when he got in last season, and he's going through the development stage. So he's a player. But again, what I was hearing through there, maybe Craig isn't looking for just somebody in the park to do all that. He's wanting to get it long, Ikpeazu push up, but if this boy's coming in and doing it, he'll keep his selling the team. But good to see they got
but that age when you come in, you want to play football.
Yeah.
As far as give me the ball and I'll pass it. If Craig, the manager's telling you, just keep on knocking it long. But if he'll not knock it long because he's the one that's got to go and get the second ball, Hugh.
Yeah.
So he'll just want to pass it, and he did well in the first half. He played.
He's
well.
tight. He's very comfortable in the ball. He's very, very comfortable. And I believe he was at Rangers. I know as a kid that young boy.
Yeah, he was.
So,
Not right.
Yeah.
Is he from Edinburgh?
No. He lives in Stonehouse.
When does he? Goodness.
And for you boys that don't go out to Helensburgh that much, that's just north of Lark Hall. Do. You know what that is?
No.
just up the hill, basically. He's a Stonehouse boy, so I'm told, but was at Ibrox, and but these things happen, don't they?
Every football club's got a player.
And that's our gripe, isn't it? Being in too early to judge them. you know, and been there too long, and they become stale as well. So
that's what I'm saying, though. Yeah, the amount of money that all the big clubs in Scottish football spend on their academies, and the amount of players that they release, and I just think, what's the use of having your academy? Because how many players actually get in? Hearts will put their hand up and say, we've got 2 or 3 young boys going to be a game. Then you look at Celtic when Forrest came in and McGregor.
At any level, I know. That's funny you should say that, because I just heard, remember the boy Justin Edinburgh that played with Tottenham, and had a bit of a hard time. He went to Gillingham, he got to Dan Mac after doing well at a non-league club. He's now at Leyton Orient, and they spoke about their academy, and the back of them going up keeps the academy going. You know, because there has one or two kids, even though 1 or 2 kids have came into the first team, they still need the monetary thing. They've now went for the National League 2, have went up at Leyton Orient. That's what he is.
Clubs, I think, they'll be looking at it and think, we'll bring our own players through and we'll be able to sell them on. But in Scottish football, clubs can't afford players to buy, you know, from Celtic or Rangers. It's too expensive for them, so they need to maybe go down south. But the academies still are spending millions to keep it going, and they're not getting millions back from the return from the players, because they're not getting a game in the first team.
And talk about academies, Gordon Young sends his best wishes. He's back over from Latvia. The wee man's back looking for a job. I says we'll be looking for somebody.
Is that him finished?
We'll be looking for somebody in the snack van.
Is he finished in Latvia then?
Yeah, I meant to say to you, just a couple of weeks ago he texted me 1 or 2 things not happening off the field that he wasn't happy with, and he's back looking for work. Spoke to him this morning. I says, listen, we'll go obviously me gaining 1 or 2 pounds before you say it. We're going to go and do the Strathclyde Park thing with the bin bag on and try and sweat a wee bit out. So listen, it's getting a word in me, Youngie, innit? That's the hardest thing, you know.
That is true. That is true.
So,
I remember he took a pause in the conversation. I thought I'd gone deaf.
Oh, some man. Youngie, so you need to get around the park twice to get a word in. It's that 9 mile. It's torture.
Listen, just very quickly, guys, while we're talking about Hearts, because that's where he came from, and I meant to mention it when we were talking about Rangers, Stephen Gerrard bringing on Lee Wallace yesterday.
What an evasion he got as well, I've got to say.
And he said it wasn't through sentiment.
Well, I'll tell you something. I think most people would maybe... He's on the bench and he's came on. But again, he started with the auxiliary left back, where yesterday might have been the ideal opportunity to play the captain, or you know, the past captain.
But again, you can't take the chance. From a distance, Hugh, he's not played.
But then McGinn's not playing, and Mackay Stevens not playing. The buzz bombs are not there. So
even at that, just going in, because the most important...
Still a big game to come back in.
The most important game, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe next game, start him in the next game.
Could do. Interesting to see. I don't know if he's out of contract or not, but I don't know what the situation is there.
His contract's up.
He moves on in the summer.
He's held in high regard with the Rangers fans. This is the guy that probably had the opportunity to leave Hearts and go elsewhere. He wanted to be the captain of Glasgow Rangers, albeit where they were, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, whatever it was. He can always say that. He's got loads of appearances. He's never let the club down. And in one so-called fallout at Hampden, which, you know, we've still all to hear what's been on. It's past now and they've got to move on. But I'll tell you something, what you can't see is he's no spat the dummy, he went in the huff, or he wouldn't have been in the squad. Yeah. He wouldn't be getting on the park, and the manager's giving him a sniff. So, for now at the end of the season, you know, we've seen careers been turned round very quickly. He looks quite slim and lean yesterday and reasonably fit. He'll need match sharpness, of course he will. But left-sided, doesn't give the ball away, good in the air, international full-back, bombs on.
Remember he scored a lot of goals for
aye,
a couple
he
of
did.
seasons.
You know, he bombs on, Murdo.
Was that in the Championship?
Well,
and Tavernier.
Yeah, they did score a lot of goals.
Both the full-backs were scoring a lot of goals at that time.
So you just wonder, but again, I don't think he'll be short of offers. I think, again, even yesterday, they were talking about maybe Hearts looking to take him back, which I wouldn't. I would think that the Jambos would welcome with open arms to take him back. If that is the case, and the manager doesn't he?
I just thought I'd bring it up. I did mean to bring it up when we were talking about Rangers.
The evasion was incredible.
It's just nice to see. Here's a game for you: Motherwell 4, Dundee 3.
Incredible.
And there was some cracking goals in it as well.
Oh, some brilliant goals. Yeah, I watched the highlight.
But it just shows when you're down, you're down.
The biggest, I don't know, you can't see there in your newspaper, is the times for all the goals. Because within a minute of whoever scored, the opposition was scoring again.
Oh, no, it was,
every time.
It was just,
if you look at
purely
the
at the
times-
end. There's the times there. Woods at 11, Turnbull on 12, Robson 22, Scott 24, Arayibi put Motherwell ahead 3-2. Ralph come back with a 3 each in the 52 minutes, and then late on, which I thought was a brilliant goal for me.
97 minutes.
Oh well, you know, he's made a great effort. He went on to the bar and he's adjusted his feet. Big Turnbull. What a great finish it was.
Absolutely fantastic.
But you know, the second goal, I think the equaliser for the first goal for Dundee was an absolute corker as well.
Yeah,
so
it was.
I
the goals
glued
were
to it.
great. The goals were great strikes. But the one that obviously was just the shortened version, and the highlights was the penalty that the referee gave.
Yeah.
But the ball was out the far side. The linesman
Wasn't
seen
it,
that.
though?
Well, according to the linesman, he
If
could
you
read his
watch
lips
it,
and going,
it
ball was over the line.
I thought it was in.
It was in a mile.
I thought it was in.
How can that linesman possibly see
He's
for the stand
for the
side, Murdo?
because he's not even behind
Beyond the
goals,
line. He's
beyond
not
the line
beyond- I know.
to see it. But when he slid in, the big defender, his hand was already in the ground. And the
Do you think
balls-
the wee Motherwell player actually played for the penalty the way he actually
No, I
just
don't
touched
think so. I think he was just
trying to
get
hit it
back.
off him.
But it's just his arm. He slid into the challenge.
Soft, wasn't
It's
it?
on the ground.
It was a stupid challenge to go in for.
It was in.
Even without the hand, to slide in like that in the box, if you'd have taken the player out, it's a penalty either
I
way.
just thought the Motherwell player was trying to knock it onto his arm because he'd seen him went down in slow motion, and he's actually just tried to
It was
knock it
just
onto
strange, but it was even more stranger when he went out and spoke to the linesman. And you're thinking that
Well-
obviously the linesman thinks that he'd seen it, but it looked as if the whole ball was still in, and then with his hand, he's kind of hit his hand and it's rolled.
So do you
out.
think when the referee's pointed, the linesman's thought he's pointed for a goal kick?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know how he could,
Well,
because he was fairly clear it was a penalty.
well, he possibly thought the ball had went out, and that's why he flagged. He's flagged right away, thinking that ball's out, and then he's realised he's gave a pen. I'm thinking he's thinking Kevin Clancy's gave a goal kick, he's gave a pen when it should be a goal kick, and I think that's when the dialogue started. I think he's
But Kevin Clancy's in a better position
Well, I
to make
think
the decision than the linesman is.
well to see if
Again,
the ball's over the line.
But
Yeah, I would agree with you.
the biggest decision was
You just wonder what
given the
just wonder
penalty.
what the dialogue is. Isn't it?
Aye. Oh, well,
You know,
that's what
imagine me
I'm
stand side near the referee and I'm saying, Murdo, you need it, it's not.
Aye,
You know,
it's
you
not.
imagine what it's like. Split second, it's a big ask for these officials to get that. You just wonder if they ever fall out. You know. Yeah, I think they do.
Well, I think at some point they will fall out for the simple reason the referee, if he realises after the linesman's overruled him and said, no, you must give this, and then realised that he was right in the first place, then he'll be saying to the linesman, look, just you put the flag up.
Just you shut your
offside.
trap in
Aye.
future. I don't
But
want
that's
to,
the
I
big
don't
thing,
want
though.
to hear for you.
No, but we talk about the referees all the time, but a lot of times the linesman will be telling them in his ear, oh, that was this, send number 4 off, he lifted his hands, and the referee's not seen it.
No.
So you've got to take his word, and then you watch it again at night on television, and all of a sudden you're thinking, that's not sending off.
No.
But you're getting all the stick from all the supporters.
I thought it was a penalty.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought
Aye.
it was a penalty.
Aye.
Yeah, it was. Listen, if you're a Motherwell
It's
fan,
his hand.
listen, if you're a Motherwell fan, you're down to 10 men. You're thinking, right, we're under the cosh a wee bit here, and Dundee had a couple of chances, but does it not sum their season up?
Well, I was just going to say, the only luck Dundee have got is bad luck,
Well,
because they're down to 10 men, Motherwell, and then they win the
Couple of wee
game.
half chances as well, but the big boy Turnbull was just turning out to be an absolute gem, isn't he?
Like that last goal was, like you say, see the way that he
took a wee
managed to adjust
deflection to
himself.
hit the crossbar first, didn't it?
Yeah, but
no, it was a good
just
strike.
to adjust and have not everybody would have the bottle to hit it as hard for you.
Aye.
You think I'm going to guide? I'm
That's
just
what
going
you
to
do-
guide
That's
this.
what you do at training, isn't it?
Of course, batter it in and go.
Just smash it into the roof of the
Aye,
net.
you know.
Aye,
away.
that's the one time out of the 23 times you've tried it
No, that's it.
that it goes in.
That was a kind of half volley as well.
It was,
aye,
You know
a
what I
wee
mean?
drop
It
kick.
came skidding off the surface, but he's been brilliant. You know, and well, obviously, you know, Thingway's no involved Hasty, but the manager has said, Rangers have said that there possibly could be a deal getting done with Hasty, and I think
I've been told
know
I've been told that deal's done.
Yeah, I think the manager said today, you know, I think there'll be an announcement on that very, very soon. But the big Aribe, the winger, I think they've got on loan from
Hasty,
Forest.
See wide right.
Yeah, it is done, I'm told.
And Turnbull's really just the floater for all everywhere else.
Aye,
But he's...
but I'm just thinking about if he's going to Rangers, the amount of wide players that Rangers have got.
See, I think I spoke to Bill on the Monday after being at the 3-0 game that Rangers won at Fir Park a couple of weeks back, and see the big boy Turnbull, Murdo? He looks like a footballer.
Aye.
And he looks the type, and he's quite a big heavy. No, I'm not saying heavy. He's bigger than
sturdy.
He's bigger than the normal footballer, and I think there's probably so much more to come for this kid, given a bigger and better club. And no disrespect to Murrow, because his education and his career's kicked into place there. There's no doubt about it. But he looks the type right now. He could go really certainly anywhere in Scotland to play. And I'm talking about possibly any either role for him. I think so. I think
he's a good player.
He's top drawer, and you just wonder why they've maybe just no way to go and nick him as well. So
you've got to say Dundee have gone now.
Yeah, I think so.
You can't see them coming back.
No,
the only thing they've got in their favour is the way they played at the weekend. That's the only thing that they'll look back. They can't go back all these weeks and weeks. The way they've played, Bill. The game against Motherwell, they'll be thinking how unlucky they were. So they've.
But do you know what? Murdo? If they're going to do anything and they're going to get any kind of wee revival, it's a confidence thing. See, when they look back at how they played, it'll all evaporate because they get beat 4-3 by 10 men.
They've lost again. You're right.
Well,
That's the sad bit.
Kenny Miller was quoted and saying, he says, games are running out. He says, we're down to 10 men, you're not taking the opportunity, which we should have taken. He says, look, we need to go and win my last 3 games. They play Hamilton at home on Saturday. If they're going to give themselves any possibility of getting a sniff and closer to St Mirren and Hamilton, they've got to win games like that. But he says, we're 7 behind St Mirren, so we need to beat them and hope they get a draw and lose the other 2. If it can be done, forget St Mirren, we need to win games. That's 9 in the bounce they've lost, and that's not good for dressing rooms. So, Morale's not getting any better for Jimmy McIntyre to get that job. And it might just be a case of, I think Dundee will look at it again in the summer. I really do. I think that. Yeah, I do. I really do. I think that it's all very well blaming players, but you just need to see managers that do come in and get a kick out of what they've got, and they kick on a wee bit and they get better and they go on a decent wee run. Dundee have never get into that pack. They've never get anywhere near it. They went 5 undefeated, but it was like 4 draws and whatever. So they've just never ever kicked on for Neil McCann leaving, and I think there'll be a change in the summer. I think there's got to be. There's got to be. And you know, again, that's. Could they go part time? Could Dundee go part time?
That's more unrest for them.
You know, Murdo.
But I don't think I think they'll stay full time because the championship has got what 9 full time teams.
You think of their crowds next year, Murdo? You think of what they're going to.
Do you know one thing? See if they go down and they're top of the league next year, you'll still get 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah, you will.
Well, that's a good point because they're hardcore.
They're a good support indeed, as long as their team.
It's not just like that.
Winning
for them.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Fans want to go and see their team winning, and it doesn't matter what league they're in as long as they're winning.
Yeah,
you're up at the top end, Bill. They'll go and watch you, and then
you just need to look at Dundee United. Their crowds have still been okay.
But do you know the worst thing though? You could go down and then get the fans behind you because you're winning at the top, get promotion. And then you're at the bottom, and then all of a sudden the fans just disappear again.
Well, I know we don't
because they don't want
to. That's right.
But I mean, you've got to look at the way things can change and your fortunes can change. Look at Falkirk.
Goodness me!
You look at that.
Look at Falkirk.
Look at that mess. An absolute disaster.
4 years ago, Houston had them in the playoffs every season for 3 seasons, and a cup final, which was a goalkeeping mistake, cost Falkirk the cup. You know, what were they thinking at Falkirk when they got rid of Houston, brought Paul Hartley in? I'm sorry, Youngie, if you're listening.
I think it was Youngie that done it. It wasn't Hartley. It was Youngie. It was the difference. I'm not getting it right.
But brought Paul Hartley in. Then they changed their executive makeup at the top, get rid of the academy and the youth system. Yeah. I'm sorry. What was going through their head?
Everything was negative. That they were doing all these things, getting rid of the academy. No, I was talking about the academies earlier on, but they're possibly thinking, we could save a lot of money by not having the academy. But what they're forgetting is, Falkirk had one of the best young kids coming through into the first team, and that was lifting all the locals, because they were saying, "Oh, that's a local boy coming through."
And all the locals were down at the pitch on a Saturday morning and wearing Falkirk tops
and watching the game and staying for the games.
Kids are not there anymore.
No.
And all these snack vans and hot dog vans that were supplying Bill,
are out
again. So, it's an absolute tragedy.
All these kids and their parents were going to the Falkirk games.
Falkirk people, they're passionate.
They don't want to go
Bill,
somewhere
what
else.
I mean?
Listen, they're noisy fans.
And by the way, can you imagine the stick? Imagine the stick that Wayne McKinnon was getting, by the way, on Saturday after the Morton fans.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Can you imagine? He must have been getting dogs abuse.
Not
that many of them there either, but hearing every shout, and you're standing there and you're going on.
Listening to it.
Just listening to it. It must have been quite tasty. But to go to Morton, come away thinking, and I think we all thought, well, you know something, if you had that opportunity, they're potentially a Premier League club. I'm not saying Morton aren't, but Falkirk are the attraction. Back through towards the Dundee Eastie area, whatever. And that to work out. And this is, and he's had a massive influx of new players. But not a lot of quality.
But there you go, it just shows you how that league changes as well. A couple of weeks ago we were talking about the possibility of Morton going down. And now they're back up to fifth.
Didn't they?
You know what I mean? They're back up to fifth again.
I know.
Absolutely crazy.
That's been a fantastic league. No, you're looking at it at the bottom. That's where all the excitement is towards the end of the season, because there's big decisions going to get made shortly. To see who's getting up and coming down or not getting up.
Let's go back to the Premiership. St Mirren won, St Johnstone won. St Mirren, for me, have started to look a wee bit more confident, and I think, St Johnstone have got a wee bit ragtag and bobtail over the last few weeks. I thought they were very untidy against St Mirren, whereas St Mirren have got a wee bit of belief about them now.
Aye, well, that's the thing. They've been under so much pressure. The heads have been down, Bill, no confidence about them. And then they've realised even a victory was giving the whole club a lift. So we're just closing in there. And at one point, they're sitting below Dundee. Now all of a sudden you're thinking, we're one victory away here from being safe. So I think that's so important for St Mirren just now. And it'll be great for them. And if they do get a victory at any point, Bill, the whole place will be buzzing. They're just desperate, because at one point I think Dundee had a good gap above them. So I think now if you're a St Mirren player, you'll be desperate for the next game to come up, because here's St Johnstone, the team at the top of the bottom half. They're looking, they're trying to play, and you're getting a point off of them, and you're comfortable with it. But again, I thought the St Mirren football wasn't too bad.
Well, I think they've probably learned a lot about their players as well on Saturday, because I heard some of the reports I read, and people were at the game. The drone when Accies went 2 up from when they were at Hamilton. And then suddenly in the 78th minute, Chris Kane gets St Johnstone, you would have thought, into a lead that they weren't going to peg back. But the young boy Paul Millen, again, I've seen the goal today, I watched it before, Danny Millen should say, had a screamer, unbelievable finish it was, to put them. And then maybe kicked on and won the game after that, it was... and
he was unlucky with an effort early on as well.
Yeah, no, he's got a good left foot, that boy, good... But I watched the quality in general, and I know you don't see a lot. I've been at a couple of St Mirren games and what have you, and it's a bit. So see, Big Moisey was there as well. That was quite a strange one for him to be sitting in the stand.
Well, he's been at a couple of games recently, not just at St Mirren but elsewhere, which makes me think maybe somebody's been talking in his ear about the Scotland job.
Well, maybe the Celtic job. Possibly.
You never know.
Looking at players.
Well, as I say, he was at Celtic Saturday, St Mirren Saturday, and Rangers yesterday.
Oh, was he Ibrox yesterday? I didn't know that. He's pictured there too. But it's all hands to the pump for St Mirren, and you just wonder, are they going to get their sell out it? And just looking at the leagues there and the games coming up, who is it to go on Saturday? Who do they go to St Mirren play Saturday?
Motherwell.
They go to Motherwell. And
that's not easy.
No,
I think that's the one team you want to avoid just now.
You're right.
In the bottom half.
I
think you're right.
And Dundee
even Livy just now. Livy's still scrapping away, but not the same as what they were earlier on. So I think the one team you want to avoid is Motherwell.
But Jack Ross leaves, Stubbsy comes in, big influx of players. Stubbsy leaves. Owen Kearney's left with these players. Can he move some of them to the January window? Can he bring his own players into the January window? Then try to mould them all together. Very difficult. You just wonder, again, I'm not a big advocate of going and getting, managers from Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, part-time managers, call it what may. I just think they should have looked here, and I thought, obviously we laugh about it, and because we feel passionate about it. Jim Goodwin, I thought was the prime candidate to get it, but you've got to say, Owen Kearney, if he'd had the reins in August of last year, would St Mirren, hypothetical question, you don't know, but you would think they would have had a wee bit more points and up the league a wee bit, but you just wonder when you're working with players that you know your players must be difficult.
Well, don't forget, Owen Kearney was the second runner of Alan Stubbs. And I think it was obviously Stubbs' reputation and his name that got him.
How many games did he give Stubbsy? How many games was it?
Four. Four.
Again, all said and done, Owen Kearney got in early. But he's then going in early. He's getting in early with players that he wasn't possibly
There's nothing he could have done about his personnel.
No.
And don't forget, at that point, they were running a first-team squad of 29 players.
Yeah. And also, Gus wasn't there at the start of the season, I don't think. So Gus just came in, to oversee. Like, see, Jimmy Nix come in to the backroom staff. They've added that.
By the way, the whole place had great experienced coaches running.
Well, Chipper, obviously, Brian Rice left to go to Hamilton. But generally, you'd look at the back room and say, that's spot on. Facilities are spot on. It's a great setup. But you just need a wee bit better quality. And the league doesn't lie. So, predominantly, the appointment of Alan Stubbs.
It's not as if it was great at the very beginning when he arrived.
No.
And then the window he changed.
Your point with Celtic early on, that was a bit...
Now all of a sudden you're looking at them, they're just getting a wee bit... I don't know how many points they've had since the turn in January. So it'll be interesting to see. But again, if you're St Mirren, I think they'll all be fancying themselves to stay up.
Well, there's still obviously a few wee tasty games to go, but it's...
Because by the way, they're sitting in the tails of Hamilton.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean? They can
on the
get away
form,
from
in the last six, they're sitting in the form. They're sitting in 7th place, Murdo. The last 5 games, lost, win, lost, drawn, win, drawn. So, it's their last 3 games. They've picked up their 4 points from 9, really, when you look at it. Or 5 points, I should say, for 9. So that's probably survival points for them, that way.
Interesting since the split happened. I know there's not been a huge amount of games yet, but interesting since the split happened, even despite the different results, nobody's moved position. They're all still in the same position.
Saturday's going to be a big one. Hamilton go to Dundee and in St Mirren have got Motherwell, which is, they could go and win there. That's a good game to go to, actually. That'd be a good game for Part on Saturday, and I might go to that on Saturday. So if you're listening, young, I didn't really mean what I said earlier on about doing the business elsewhere, because he's the man at for briefs. So it'll be a big weekend coming up, and it's survival, and it's people's livelihoods, and it's mortgages, and
I just wonder a wee bit, are we going to get a lot of draws in the run in here?
Possibly.
That Hamilton going to Dundee and both of them happy taking a point. St Mirren going to Motherwell. If they can get a point, but if they don't, then Dundee will think, well, maybe we'll close this a wee bit. So it'll be a lot of wee 1-pointers.
I don't know about, is Aki's good enough to go on Saturday with a wee bit of quality to go up there. Dougie Irwin back in at the weekend as well. He got his pen. He's back in. I can see Aki's going up there and possibly getting something out of that.
See if you're the manager going up there to Dundee and you're thinking, win here and you'll stay up.
Possibly get into 30 points.
Put them down. Just win here and we'll stay up.
Well, you could, Murdo. I think that could be it.
Even although
thinking it, your neighbours, Ham or Mother were going to do you a favour.
Aye, well that's
it. We beat St Mirren, we go and win at Dundee. We're all but safe. 5 ahead of St Mirren.
You hear a lot of people talking about the likes of Motherwell. If they're playing St Mirren, people think, but Motherwell's no got anything to play for. They have.
Yeah, of course they have.
No, a lot of the boys are in
finishing position as well.
Finishing position.
Monetary for the club and what have you.
Get a bonus.
And then you just wonder about bonuses. Are they added a wee bit and going, listen, we're on to this.
You get it
chairman for this one.
And the good thing as well, just what you touched on earlier on, some of the players will want to show people that they can play at a different level
and get a move.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
short window.
You've got to do it.
Aye, I think so.
So
I think I think that's the beauty of the split. There's no, like say fag end of the season, that way where they're dead rubbers. It doesn't happen anymore now, with the split, and it's not a bad thing, Bill, to be fair, because it gives these teams down at the bottom chances of climbing.
Well, my own feeling is, and you convinced me last week, the pair of you, that the split is a good thing. But I don't think there is dead rubbers anyway. If there wasn't, because of the amount of money that's available just moving up one place.
Finishing place.
And
You'd be talking about 100 grand.
Murdo's right. I mean, I was a couple of years ago, I was in a Premiership club, and there was a board up on the wall in one of the offices that wasn't open to the public, or nobody went in that wasn't invited, kind of thing. And it had finish their bonus here, finish their bonus is that, finish their bonus is that. So they look at it and think, this is what we get as a club. That's what we pass on to the players as the bonuses.
What were you doing at Celtic Park, Bill?
I can tell you it wasn't Celtic Park.
And I can tell you, I knew that already.
You think I've got flame-proof shoes or something?
But that's the thing, though, that players are no switching off. In the olden days, used to say, it's middle of the table and all that kind of thing. Now with the split, again, when you're St Johnstone, you want to finish top.
Yeah, of course you do.
No, that's your Rugby League.
A great description of the end of season.
Top of the bottom.
Dick Campbell today went, they had I think they lost it. Who beat them on Saturday? Somebody beat them. Airdrie beat them.
Airdrie.
He says, I think a few of them had the kiss me quick hats on.
Brilliant.
Great shout, wasn't it?
Good answer.
Kiss me quick hats on. None of your broad stuff get down to Blackpool, Dick. Brilliant. Brilliant. But no, there is. Those days are gone, certainly in the league that we concentrate on weekly, but I just thought I need to remember tell the boys that quote was a beauty.
Aye.
Beauty. Kiss me quick hearts.
St Johnstone obviously are still at the top of the best of the rest at the minute, but as I said, they look a wee bit untidy, and they're only a point now ahead of Motherwell.
Yeah, I think Motherwell, when they look at not having a great start or a bad run will be. But and again, would Hearts have been in 51 points if they'd had their full, team to pick from? They had a big squad and a few injuries. So, see, when you look at it, is the league lying that much to you? I don't really think it is it? Apart from the top two, obviously.
Days gone by, the team at the top of the bottom half would have more points than the team at the bottom of the top half.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that you're looking at that, and if you're St Johnstone, you want to catch Hearts and get by them, and it means absolutely nothing. And then it's always nice to have more points than them.
Well, it is as well.
That's where I think the splits.
You're right, Bill.
Ironic.
See, looking at the Scottish League, you're looking at it and you're thinking, people all around the world will think, this team's below this team in sixth,
but
and they've got more points.
Yeah.
Why is that? And all that's going to... Did you not bring up the Belgian League was...
Oh, the Belgian League's bizarre.
Uh-huh.
They split, and then they kind of shuffle teams around, and they get double points for different games, and that's weird.
Aye. That is
absolutely... it's bizarre.
But one thing, they think it's great.
Oh, aye, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
From a distance, we think it's crazy, but...
They love it.
But they're all out of their head in Stella, so, from that point of view, do they care?
Stella.
Just moving on now. Hamilton against Livingston. Hamilton 3, Livy 3. What a game!
What a game.
And again, a couple of decent goals in there
goals,
as well.
Aye.
Yeah, they were so. And I think when Chippers got them 2 up, you're thinking, I couldn't believe it when it flashed up that they had went 2 up, and then within the space of 10 minutes, Livy have got themselves 3-2 up.
3-2, aye.
And young Ard McGowan pops up late on to get them a point, which that point could be very, very, very important come the end of the season. But I think would they have took a point pre-match? Yeah, possibly would. They'll take a point any game now, really, Hamilton, to keep their survival up there in the Premier League. But I think Hamilton are capable of scoring goals, and I met Chipper a couple of weeks back at the Rangers and Motherwell game, and I says, listen, I think you make a real good fist date. He says, I'm still looking for players, Shuggy. I'm wanting a couple of midfield players to play. He says, but at this time of the season, I just need points, and that's what a disappointing crowd, over 1,000 people.
It's what you say, though, that they're capable of scoring goals, Shug, but look at the goal difference. It's the worst in the Premiership.
Yeah, I know. Well, again,
they leak them.
I don't think that he can take full responsibility for that.
No, I wasn't blaming Chipper. I'm just saying, But you look at that again.
Aye.
You know, they're 2 goals up, but they have to struggle to get a late goal to put them on a 3-3 draw.
You know,
That's been their performances most of the year. No, maybe nicking themselves in front at 1-0 and not being able to see the game.
Hold on to it.
Yeah, I think that's been their problem. They just lost goals anytime they went in the lead. Even the other way about. Credit to them over the last 2 or 3 seasons, Bill. They've been going down 1-0, but they've kept themselves in the game and maybe nicking a wee late equaliser.
Well, you're right. You know, Dig Emery's, you know, the top guy here in the Sun for his quote, and you've just probably nailed it, Bill, as well. He said the veteran skipper groaned. He says, well, we're different class in the first half, probably the best we've been this season. He says, we got a great start to the second half, get a penalty, and we're 2 up. He says, and we're thinking about seeing the game out and getting 3 points, which we obviously need. But then we don't clear the ball properly, and Scott Pittman sclaffs a shot through someone's legs into the bottom corner, and 8 or 9 minutes later they're 3-2 down on the back of not a particularly good clearance. And I've seen the clearance. He says, I need to agree with the manager. It's not good enough. And it's possibly a mental thing, mentally, and you know it's in there.
Do you know what it
head.
reminds me of? It reminds me of Thistle about 3 or 4 seasons ago. Remember,
late goals
at home, where they would lose goals, they'd be cruising.
That's no change.
That was last year.
Was it? Well, they did it. There was a couple of years as well. There was a couple of years before that as well.
Well, they were
See
getting
their results Saturday again, losing again.
Aye.
Unbelievable.
And they were in front as well.
And they'd doing and beat Ayr midweek as well, Thistle, you know, unbelievable. But listen, you know, I think when you look at it, I think the appointment, you know, everybody's looking at it's Chipper's first job. He's going into the Lions Den there, keep them up. Canning's kept them up, so the pressure was on him. And, you know, to keep them there. And again, it proves what can be done with a manager coming in. Similar circumstances. When he's came in and he's got Martin Canning's players, to Jimmy McIntyre coming in and inheriting Neil McCann's players. And you look at the difference that Chipper has made to Hamilton that we've not seen at Dundee. Yeah. So there's a lot of man management, a lot to do.
The biggest thing in the world, though, any time you get into a new club, you can't just expect to say, oh, every one of you are getting freed, I'm going to bring in modern players. At some point you've got to work with players, maybe you don't like them, but they're there for a reason. No, Stubbsy brought in, you mentioned Stubbsy brought in a lot of players, he brought them in, but Stubbsy 100% would be thinking these boys are good enough for St Mirren.
Yeah.
So it's all about the man management style and how you want to play. If they're the type of player that can all pass, the Chippers going on about Hamilton players, and the players are talking about he wants us to play football all the time. And they're all enjoying it.
Yeah.
They're all really enjoying it because that's his style of football. If you get another manager coming in who wants to play it long, you've just got to get the players on the pitch. Your squad, you will have that type of player. A big defender will just knock it up to a big centre forward.
I think he's got the boy Oakley up front that he's got from Inverness down, and you know, he's that get out. He's the plan B as such, where you know if you do need to knock it long, that's where it goes.
Because usually if you're fighting for your life, Bill, and you're down the bottom of the table, there's nothing wrong with a long ball and then getting your team just to squeeze into the opposition half.
Murdo, I said that to Chipper when he was in. I said, look, I know the type of football you want to play, but, you know, it's now the time to be playing it.
Aye.
Sometimes you just want to win ugly at this point in the season.
That's all. It doesn't matter, Bill, how you win these games towards the end of the season. You're under pressure. And by the way, every football manager wants to be known as, oh, he likes playing football, he passes the ball well. Everybody wants to be that. But then you start looking about and you look at Livy. When they get the ball in the final third, they're great, but from the back to front, it's long, squeeze in and make it difficult for the opposition. Free kicks, corner kicks, throw-ins, and they're winning all the headers, they're scoring goals, and they're comfortable. No one would have thought at the start of the season that Livy would be sitting where they're sitting just now.
But when I look at Hamilton and the capabilities, I think, of their team there and the players that they've got, I can see them going up and getting a result at Dens Park because they've got good players, Bill. You know, Ziggy Gordon at the back's good player. Boy McGowan, he got for Morecambe. They've got him in a free, he'll be right back. He scored equalise on Saturday. The boy McKinnon in the middle of the park, you've got to say, what a signing he's been for the juniors. Darren McKinnon in the middle of it. Tony Andrew, who they got back up, I think, from Swansea, star man, and the boy Oakley up front with Emery coming in. So I think they've got better players than Dundee. I've said that, and I think they've probably got as good a player and as good a squad as St Mirren.
I think the key is for Saturday, Dundee got beaten against 10 men, 4-3. Hamilton might have been 2-0 up, but they got a point out of it. I just think the difference will be in the head again. When you're
the flip side is St Mirren go and get a result at Fir Park and Hamilton lose there in second bottom place. So,
well, that's true.
It's all very well as saying Aki's get results at Mirren lose, but
I just don't see how. I don't see how Dundee are going to win or beat anybody just now.
Yeah, but you're saying Hamilton
really
get the worst defensive record. What an opportunity you've got to get to Hamilton at the back.
Well, that's true. That's true. They have the worst goal difference in the league.
If you're sitting here on Friday night, who will you tip?
I think I would sit in the fence and Chipper would take a draw. It could be 2-2.
I would still go for Hamilton. I'd still go for Accies.
Go for a Hamilton.
I'd still go for Accies. And I've got to say, I'd be surprised if St Mirren come away with anything more than a point at Fir Park.
Aye.
That'd be a good game. I'm definitely going to go to that game. That'd be a good game because St Mirren will take a good crowd as well through there. It'll be a good atmosphere.
It'd be a good game.
Yeah.
And to be fair to St Mirren, the change in them in terms of what we were seeing, they've got that wee bit of confidence now. They're scoring goals where they were making chances but not scoring before.
Yeah.
They're actually making chances and they're taking chances.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Business end of the season. Nerves jangling.
It's exciting though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it's a good finish. All the, you know people in a lot of the football clubs at the bottom end, and you're just watching them how they're going to shape up in the last 2 or 3 games. And again, you always feel if you get anything about your team, if you're up against it, like at Dundee at home against Hamilton, see if they can't win that game. They deserve to get down. Because, by the way, see every one of these Hamilton supporters that stand and watching the game, they would come out and give their life for going fighting for that team, supporting that team. They've been doing it all their lives, and they're thinking, this is your chance, go out and win this game. And then all of a sudden, it gives them that wee glimmer of hope, Bill, if they can get all 3 points, and then all of a sudden the other teams at the bottom are beginning to get panicky.
Yeah, but we've not really heard Higgs, and Higgs has watched the Grampian stuff in the interviews with Jimmy McIntyre and that. He's not really had much cause, to tell us, Jimmy's come out and he said this and said that. And, it's been quite quiet as well, isn't it? That where he would expect if there's something happening with McInnes, he'll be able to tell us what's going on there. Or a United thing, it always seems to be quite flat about Dundee. There never seems to be any drive there.
No, there doesn't.
But results do that, and the confidence is down.
It is results.
But we don't wish him, any bad luck. Hamilton's a former team of mine, and some good people, really good people that work round about Hamilton, and I'm hoping Aki's got and get a result and keep their survival.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come up and we'll finish off with Celtic Killie.
Have you ever lost money on an investment? If a high street bank persuaded you to buy a stocks and shares ISA, unit trust or investment bond and you lost money, you could be entitled to thousands of pounds in compensation. It doesn't matter if you no longer have the investment or can't find the paperwork. You could still be owed thousands. Text GOOD to 66777 and Goodwin Barrett will start a free assessment to find out how much you could be owed. Text GOOD to 66777 and Goodwin Barrett will call you back.
It's easy to put things off. I'll sort it tomorrow. It'll wait. Well, turns out if you're a man with prostate disease, the sooner you spot it, the better it can often be treated. So if your dad or brother have had prostate cancer, or you're having trouble with your waterworks, do something about it. See your GP or visit prostatescotland.org.uk for more information. Prostate Scotland. Pull your finger out.
After an accident at work, you can feel angry, frustrated and upset. You're probably feeling in pain and worried about the impact on your family and your job. Well, it's time to experience a different feeling. At First for Lawyers, we'll help you discover what justice feels like. At First for Lawyers, we've a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. So text compensation to 66077 and let us find the right lawyer for you. No win, no fee. Text compensation to 66077 and we'll call you back.
I'd like a flat white, please.
Sure. Coconut milk, rice milk, quinoa milk or tiger nut?
Just regular milk.
Regular milk?
Yes.
Oh. And would you like a turmeric shot with that?
No, thank you.
Beetroot sprinkles? Matcha sprinkles?
No, just as it is.
OK. Well, that'll be £8.
What?
Your 26th will be free.
Enjoy a flat white at a price that's easier to swallow. From the McCafe range at McDonald's.
Love music, live sport. Talking football with Bill Young, Hugh Burns and Murdo McLeod on Rock Sport Radio.
Okay, final game to look at for today, lads. Celtic at home to Killie. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Well, I'll just quickly come in. I seen the highlights. Murdo was at the game. You know, Burkie particularly had a great chance, and you know how Celtic Park. You know, to me, Celtic Park were edgy, obviously. Or lose the game, and you know it'd have been tight. You know that way, but Murdo was there. It just proves, I think, how far Kilmarnock have went. You know, they can comfortably come now to both Rangers and Celtic and put on a show where, you know, they've obviously learned their lesson pre-Christmas with the 5-1 spanking.
You knew you were never going to see a repeat of that. You knew it.
Well, that's all, but, you know, that's, you know...
Did they go in?
They learnt from it. You know, they learnt from it.
But the biggest thing about Killie, they're so well organised, and you're watching them early on in the game, Bill, and you're thinking, this is the way Killie play. And then Celtic had more of the ball, but not creating many chances. Then all of a sudden, Killie's going up the other end, and a great chance. Then 10 minutes later, it's another chance, and you think, for goodness sake, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. But Celtic just kept on playing away, and the fans, just what you're saying, they knew they can't lose this game, because then it's still 4 points still to be earned. So the whole thing, there was a wee bit of nervousness in the whole stadium, and the whole talk about Big Billy before the game and singing his name and all that. It was fantastic, and it was a great tribute to the big man. So all the fans are just hoping the team come out and play fantastic football, and it didn't happen. And then when it was the strangest thing, and I said to Bill, I couldn't believe everybody's sitting in our box, and they come round with the sheets for putting a wee bet on, and they're all picking their McGregor first goal and all this kind of thing, and one of the boys just picked Simunovic, but no for any other reason, just because he was 25-1 or whatever he was. But we're all sitting there looking out, and there's the biggest number 5 in the world sitting in the circle, and I'm thinking everyone should just be thinking, put money on the number 5. So anyway, I'm not a gambler anyway, so I'm sitting watching the game, 63 minutes, and I turn to my pal, and he just said, oh no, what's happening now? I says, wait a minute, 67 minutes, Celtic will score. And he's looked at me, and then it's a corner kick, the ball comes up, and the header and goes in. And honestly, I've never been squeezed so much in all my life.
It was 68 in the clock, but wasn't it?
No, it was 67 in the clock.
No,
67.
It's officially it's into the 68th minute, but the time was 67:10 or something like that.
On the papers, it's saying 68.
No.
It says
all the
60
clocks is
everywhere.
67.
Right.
67 is all in the clocks, but it's 67:08 seconds.
Got you.
So the whole plays right away was just... Because normally Celtic fans start singing about the Lisbon Lions in 67th minute.
Song,
So they hadn't even started it. Because normally, especially with the tribute to Billy, they would have started it right on, but it was a corner kick for Celtic at that time. And honestly, it was just incredible.
Unbelievable.
And everybody cheered, and then they all started, I think, talking to each other. What about that? Did that happen there? The number 5... And by the way, it was a Billy McNeil header.
I know it was. I seen it.
You know yourself.
He hardly lifted. He didn't jump that, but it was just the height of himself
to get it down. But because normally you see some of the headers and they're all going over. It was away, big Billy up there, nodding it down at the back post. No chance for the goalie.
Unbelievable.
And it's just, and as you know, being at Rangers, things happen at Rangers, and you always think, that's fantastic. And for all the Celtic supporters, for Big Billy's family there, was fantastic. No, the number 5 scores, and in the 67th minute, it was honestly, your skin's tingling.
Oh, unbelievable!
No, you're just.
It just had to be so fitting that would happen.
Aye,
you know,
it was like something. And by the way, the best director in the world couldn't have a movie like that or anything like that, because nobody would believe you.
No, you wouldn't. That is a movie, you know.
Aye.
When you sit and watch that and you know it's going to happen. But, you know, it's amazing. Was there no any chat about it before it? It would just be like the thing we would score in the 67th minute?
No, there was nothing in that. Just when I turned and said 63 minutes, I says Celtic will score in the 67th minute. And then see when I scored, my pals up.
And over and above that, right, and they do score then, prior to it and after that, did they look like winning the game?
It was always a game, it was tight. It was a game, it was tight. It wasn't as if it was, that 1-0, that's enough. Kelly had 1 or 2 wee half chances towards the end as well. But so did Celtic, do you know what I mean? But you're expecting Celtic to do that. But if you're a Celtic supporter sitting watching it and you're hanging on it at 1-0, you're looking for another goal and you're not getting it.
So what do you think the difference is, Brendan Rodgers' 11 to Lenny's 11 then? What do you think the difference in what the players are doing or not doing it they were doing?
Pace.
I still think it's a really, really, really difficult task for Neil Lennon to get and take over from Brendan, because it's not as if it was a steady time he was going to move out from the club. It wasn't as if Neil Lennon was all ready to go to the club. All of a sudden he was thrown in here to a team who, when they play, are great to watch. Great pace about them, knocking the ball about, scoring goals, full works, no losing. And then Neil Lennon's got to get in, and his thoughts must be, but this is Brendan's team, I want to have Neil Lennon's team out there. And Neil's got to think what changes he's going to make. He brought in, took Sinclair out the team. No making changes there. At the back, he's made a change.
And Zagiris come in, isn't he? But I think on the strength of Tierney been injured.
Yeah. So he's got all these wee kind of things in his head that he's got to kind of do it his way. But he's trying to keep us close to the way Brendan played. And I think that is a massive problem.
See what he was doing at Hibs, and it was a passing move and what have you.
Aye, it was great.
That was similar to what Brendan was doing at Celtic anyway.
But that's the way.
I don't think they've got the same mobility as when Brendan Rodgers was there. I don't think they find the same movement.
The personnel's no change, Bill. No, really.
Then
they've lost your left back who bombs on.
Then I've got to say then that there's a couple of key little things either to do with formation or personnel. Could be small little things like that that's slowing the game down in the middle of the park. The movement's not as good, it's not as fluent as it was in my view, Murdo.
Yeah, I can understand that. When Celtic play well, it's because of the pace and playing it the way that they play, Hugh, their style, their shape, and they're really hard to beat.
Having said that, maybe it's unfair being as critical about their movement and their pace. Kelly are a hard team to beat because they are so well set up.
Aye.
Everybody knows their job, and Kelly's movement is good in closing down. First thing I noticed about them on Saturday was that whenever a Celtic player got the ball, they were hunting in packs.
Aye. But Kelly are the type of side, so well organised, very fit. So they're grinding away and they're making it difficult for Celtic because it's not. And they're good players. No, they're very good players. They're comfortable and they could pass the ball. And then every now and again they would just open up and through the middle and they'd create 1 or 2 wee chances. And again, that's why they're sitting where they've been sitting over the last year and a half, sitting up in the top 4. No, they've been great, so it was never going to be an easy game. But I just feel for Lenny, he's in about it, and he's trying to put his stamp on it as well. Because every day, everybody's talking about, is he going to get the job or not? And no matter who you are, you'll still be thinking, inside yourself, Bill, you'll be thinking, I've got to do things here just to impress people. And so that's a different kind of...
And also going in and trying to get the job. And win with a bit of flair, the way they've been used to seeing them winning, because I think that the lack of flair that you're seeing on the eye is certainly going to be a detriment, and I'm not getting the job. I think there's definitely going to be, right, is he the man for the job? Where if they'd been going in and winning and knocking on down the road, then the job would have been his.
Where it's swinging, you go back to the semi-final against Aberdeen in the Cup, and Celtic played really well and they moved the ball about and they won everything that was going on. And then you look at it, then it comes back to it's not the same pace. So all of a sudden at one point they're all saying, Lenny should get the job, that was a great performance. Then the next week, it's another, oh, no, I don't know. That wasn't great.
It's a big call.
So it is a big call. It's hard from the board. It's the fans, obviously. I don't know what the influence they've got.
All due respect, and that's to come from me, I'm just going by what I hear. Rangers fans want Lenny to get the job. Rangers fans want Lenny in the job.
Aye.
Because I think they see...
But by the way...
they see weaknesses there.
A hard person to follow. I know the Celtic fans don't like Brendan, but a hard person to follow.
To get it right.
So it's difficult, and that's what I'm saying. And Lenny was pally with Brendan. Do you know what I mean? So it's difficult, and just try to take over his role, and because it's not easy just to walk in and just say, just do what Brendan used to ask you to do.
Yeah, I know, but he's experienced enough. He wasn't getting as if he'd known it, Murdo. He's been there, he had a good team in the way he played, and you would have thought the way he likes to play expansive football would have been tailor-made to go in and do that again with better players.
With better players. But again, the better players, they're used to Brendan Rodgers for the previous 2 years, so that they're understanding the way they're speaking.
Well, again, as I've said, some of the players may actually be letting him down then, Murdo.
Well, but that's the thing.
You know, if he's not really been scrutinised on he's picking a living. I think really.
I'm just laughing. They're still winning.
Yeah, I know that. I know, Bill. I know that. But you know,
that's the biggest thing, Bill. Celtic are still winning, but the fans are still. That was just what you touched on there. It was a wee bit slower than Brendan, but throughout all the years, Brendan's been as well. He's played it slow, and a lot of the Celtic fans, it's too slow today. But the thing is, the Celtic fans know exactly the capabilities of all the players. They know the players when they're going at pace, and when Rogic comes on, he lifts the team and a wee bit more pace through the middle. McGregor getting forward, a wee bit more pace through the middle. They know what's going on, and they know when it goes flat as well. And that's when they obviously try to lift them.
It'll be very interesting summertime what they do.
It's going to be a big call.
Summertime, 3 weeks, they'll make the call within a month now, I would think, on preparation for the new season.
Is anybody actually out of contract apart from Boyata?
No, I don't think so.
If there was, you'd have read about it, Bill.
Obviously, it's just all the loan signings that will go back. But Boyata's obviously going to be a big call.
Did Ware come on? Did he?
No, he wasn't in the bench.
Was he not?
So I don't know what was wrong there. Even when we looked,
Burke on the bench.
He was on the bench.
Get on.
He doesn't get on now.
Does he obviously rate him? Does he?
But that's the thing, though. No, these players.
And Sinclair on the bench.
These players, no, Sinclair started.
Johnny Hayes start.
No, he came on for Sinclair.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, the bottom line, as you said, Bill, they win the game. But I think a lot of flaws there that Celtic fans are saying. You could hear it in the commentary. You know, when Kilmarnock were opening up Celtic, it was like sometimes they play like European football. You're playing against.
Listen, it could have been a different game, Hugh. It could have been a totally different game if Chris Burke scores and Kelly take another chance that they've got in the first half.
You know what, though, Bill? I felt if Kelly had scored earlier, it'd have been a much better game.
Yeah, you might be right.
Would have lifted it.
Would need to have lifted it.
They would have need to have.
But once again, he's dodged a bullet.
Aye.
No dodge bullets next year, mate. I'll tell you better than that. He's better than a bullet-proof jacket next year. That's for sure.
He said that last year. That's
say that every year. Say it every year, Murdo. You know, it's a season there that what could have been for us, you know, that way, and they were there to be shot at, and that's what's hurting the Rangers fans probably more than anything. Especially when they see Kilmarnock opening them up as well as much as on Saturday. That, you know, they've seen maybe a wee bit of a chance when Lennon went back.
Listen, if you play in any game, you know you always get your chances. It's what you do with them that's the important thing.
That's true.
And that's the difference. I mean, Celtic, Rangers will take their chances.
It's because Kelly's beating you all the time, doesn't he? Don't praise them too much.
No, I've praised Kelly all season. I think
Kelly are a great team. They're a very good team. I love the fact everybody looks as if they know what their job is, and they all do it properly. There's some very talented players.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good players. Good pace about them as well.
Yeah.
Good pace.
Kelly, I was very impressed. They were literally hunting packs on Saturday, and like you said, their fitness levels is colossal, Murdo.
Yeah.
Huge.
He's got them fit.
He has. That's it, boys. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Cheers, guys.
I'm sorry that you weren't on the old goggle tonight. We'll try and get that up and running and sorted for you tomorrow. If you're a Speedway fan, Derek Smith with Tapes Up is next. I'll be back tomorrow with Jerry Collins between 6 and 8. Have a good evening. Thanks for choosing Rock Sport.